Is on my mind, baby, you the top, you are my desire. Yeah, you got that loving that I require. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Give it to me slow, yeah. Give it to me slow, yeah. One time now. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Give it to me slow, yeah. Give it to me slow, yeah. You know you want it. I feel you calling. Call me on the nights when you're feeling lonely. Call me on the days when you're feeling fun. Cause I'm always on it. Putting work on it. Sexy in a dress and the lips so soft. Girl, you know I'ma take it off, yeah. Yeah, give it to me right, slow, yeah. Give me all night, oh yeah. Got me coming right, yeah. You want them girl at the same. Only you know walk calling out my name. Right, I know it. You got me singing, eh. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Give it to me slow.
Since they were on sale, Laura bought these umbrella shoes without thinking. Literally, without thinking. Hungry for deals? You'd better come and satisfy it at KFC before doing something crazy. 7 pieces of delicious chicken with a bucket of fries. The KFC Wow Bucket for $119.95.
New Absolute Watermelon, always in season. 100% natural watermelon flavor, 0% added sugar. Not for persons under the age of 18. Enjoy responsibly.
World!
Yes, let's explore it.
Wow, it's made with real salmon.
Look what I found. Party mixed cat snacks.
There's the delicious taste of the tuna we love.
Definitely coming back tomorrow.
Friskies, always more to explore.
Never had them like this. KFC nuggets. Back on the menu with a twist. New spicy nuggets, the dark and the dark. KFC nuggets are the best around. A spicy nuggets the best. With enough dips, no one become test. Swear it's 100% chicken breast. And everybody else be whole second best. Back on the menu with a twist. Never had them like this. Spicy nuggets are the tastiest.
KFC chicken nuggets are back on the menu. Now you can choose between the new hot and spicy flavor or original, or mix them up starting at $24.95 only at KFC.
They got it, baby. Give me some, baby. Yeah. Melanin popping, everything firm. Nothing ain't dropping on you. All the big heads them watching. 6-figure clocking, but that ain't bothering you. No. Man could have gone on them ways, but them boy go run the place, Watch how your mother pray for you. Look how you're born with flavor, flavor, flavor. Melanin flavor, flavor, flavor. Sign the pen on your paper, paper, paper. Melanin flavor, flavor, flavor. Tell a boy go brave, Yeah, yeah, yeah. Before you hot up the place, Yeah, yeah, yeah. Look how you sweet like bonbon, like sugar in a pot when I brown. You know where you come from, so nobody can take you for clown now. Cause you know what you have is special. So baby, do give it up now. Because your mother pray for you. Look how you're born with flavor, flavor, flavor. Melanin flavor, flavor, flavor. Sign the pen on your paper, paper, paper. Melanin flavor, flavor, flavor. Tell a boy go brave, Yeah, yeah, yeah. Before you hot up the place, Yeah, yeah, yeah. Tell a boy go brave, Yeah, yeah, yeah. Before you hot up the place, Yeah, yeah, yeah. Look how you're born with flavor, flavor, flavor. Melanin flavor, flavor, flavor. Sign the pen on your paper, paper, paper. Melanin flavor. flavor. Tell a boy go brave, you know. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Before you hot up the place, you know. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Welcome back, guys. It's your Island Girls. I'm Ruby Paris.
I'm Samara Lalu.
And I'm Talia Alexander.
And guys, welcome back to the season 3 finale.
Oh my
That
gosh.
is so crazy to say.
I know.
I feel like we just met y'all.
Right?
We just met each other.
right.
We now start to vibe with Island Girl Talk, and we already here at the finale.
Yes.
But guys, what an exciting show we have today for you. I can't wait for you to just tune in and enjoy it with us, enjoy the journey with us. But first things first, you know, we have to recap on the week.
Yes.
Because we didn't see each other for a whole 7 days, and we need to know
Yes.
what's going on.
Not to mention,
First things first, when
missing
Chris
our
not here.
sister.
Correct. If you'll notice, Ruby is sitting in Crystal's seat today.
Sitting in Ruby's.
That's crazy. So much has changed in this past week.
Right.
But Chris, we know you're logged in. We know you're seeing us, and we are here to just represent.
love
We
you.
love
We
you.
miss you.
We are so proud of you.
Yes.
We know you are killing it.
Shining, doing
And for
great
those
things.
who are tuning in, we just send good vibes
Yes.
to Chris.
God's
and
blessings.
of course, all the blessings and success.
Yes.
So guys, how was only a week, boy?
Well, let me just kickstart a little bit. So, you know, I had Saturday night. You know, I usually go to South and stuff like that to you know, chill with my Kingdom family and all of that.
Evangelize.
Well, that, actually, no. Apparently, today was more about me being poured into and stuff. But it was
Nice.
interesting though because the same guy I told you about with the uncle.
Yeah.
Yeah. He had a very interesting testimony about because of his past, police officers were coming to get him. I won't get too much into it, but it was really bad, like almost like a frame situation, right?
Wow.
And so he is obviously, you know, you're battling the humanity of the discouragement of what is going on, but you're aware spiritually that at the end of the day, when you're following God, there is opposition.
Yes.
So he is telling us about the testimony, whatever, and during the testimony, he takes just a few minutes to go downstairs. Police officers come again and say, see, you are going. We are taking, you're not coming out of here. Meanwhile, we get word of it and we start to intercede in prayer. And next thing you know, while we're praying, the pastor went and see him, and after talking to them and stuff, they release him. Like they didn't know, like it was almost like if it's a confusion, like he didn't know. But the police officer released him, and then he came upstairs and he came to see us praying because he didn't know we were praying and interceding for him.
Yeah.
So it felt like just a real life miracle to be a part of that. Yeah, you know, because I'm seeing God just move. Like this is real stuff, you know. And then again, Bongs of Samara for Sunday. I have like a friend who is a prophet as well, and he wants to help people, so he was using that platform to bring like deliverance and all of that. And so I was going, and she was like, you know, you're going? So I was like, yeah, I go in. So we went, and that in itself, you know, we got a lot of release. It was very powerful. You get to see the move of God, and again from sincere people who actually love God, not perfect people, but sincere people who are who God is working on. So yeah, I all glory to God this week.
Indeed.
You know?
And your week so far is good.
Yeah.
All right.
I can't complain. Honestly, those moments make it worthwhile for me. So it makes me handle the trials a bit more differently, you know?
Yeah.
What about you, niece?
My week is peace.
Right?
But it's good pace. Like
Nice.
it's good pace. Y'all are feeling warm today. Prepared with my warmness. But this week is pace. Because you know, like the month's about to end. So I'm kind of like winding down with some school stuff, and then next week I'm starting my master's. So I'm excited.
Oh, congratulations. That's amazing. That's a huge feat.
Okay. In a real, it's really, really good. It's really, really good. I'm seeing like a lot of seeds that were planted early in the year now starting to sprout, and it's just kind of giving me the encouragement to keep going. So I really, really love that. To God be glory.
Awesome.
God be glory.
Yes.
Oh, okay. My weekend was powerful, like Tals alluded to, and
Wait, Sam,
My
you didn't write it down this week?
I did. But I was like trying to be cool, you know, guys. Why you make me out, girl?
Way boy, Ruby boy. Way
already booked. How was your week, Sam?
I have no comment at all.
It was powerful. So powerful that you don't need to write
any box.
It was a powerful weekend, and the week started off really good, really smooth, just connected, spending time and building relationships and stuff like that. So, yeah, it's been quiet and work flowing, and
I love that. It's giving abundance.
100%.
It's given.
Correct. My week was good. And my week was pace.
Right.
I had a fantastic baby shower that I attended over the weekend. And it's really lovely when you see people like surrounded by love.
Yes.
And of course, most vulnerable moments as well.
Yeah.
She's a new mom, first kid, and I'm just like seeing her just be around friends and family, well-wishers, just be in support of her experiencing this love and this joy and this blessing and this privilege to be able to carry. And watching herself, her face light up, all the games, all the activities, all the competitiveness. Yeah. And I mean, she can't move much because bless her, she's like ready to pop.
Soup sprags.
Soup sprags, but just you can see how much it meant to her.
Right.
And it really brought a warmth to me of feeling like,
she knows what she's having.
She does. She's having a boy.
Congratulations.
But it's one of those things where you sit back and you're like, wow, God really works in mysterious ways, always showing up to give you the support that you need when you need it the most.
Yeah. 1,000%.
You felt the love in a way that is incomparable. Like it's not like anything else is going to be able to supply that level of love that you feel when people are genuinely here to support you. So it was a really fulfilling weekend. I went to church on Sunday. Big up church.
Big up the fellowship of the brethren.
I mean, I've been so busy. It's been crazy.
Salvation.
I mean, I've been feeling spiritually drained for a while, and I haven't been able to go for like 3 months because of work conflicts and stuff. But I went Sunday and I feel so charged and ready for the week as it continues. Each day is a blessing, and my week was great.
I like it.
My week was great.
I love it.
So guys, I'm really happy that we all had a fantastic week.
Yes.
We all had moments of miracles in the week to show us that we are being guided, we're being supported, we're always loved. And again, it breaks my heart to really accept that this is the finale for season 3.
And on top of which, Ruby, on top of which,
we try not to until the
no, you know I'm gonna cry.
All you put it together.
Y'all know I'm gonna cry.
But I mean, if you want, you can cry if you wanna. But I'll be holding y'all down, you know, because y'all not gonna make me cry. But
tables like to turn on this
table. It's true. I mean, not talk too hard. But it's so mind-blowing that our sister Crystal, our head of our ship usually,
the captain
is captaining somewhere else, you know. So
shine bright,
we do miss you.
We do. And guys, don't be scared, you know. Just because it's season 3 finale don't mean we don't have a next one coming for 2025, you know.
Exactly.
And of course, at the end of this episode, you can tune into Tempo on Mondays and Wednesdays, where you can see Nisi.
Yes, and the girls.
With our Island Girl Talk season 1.
Yes.
And of course, you can get more of Island Girl Talk at SAS this weekend. Sundresses, sandals, and sunglasses. And it said shade sunglasses on Independence Day at Queen's Hall, where your girls are going to be there live.
Hello.
Interviewing and all of that.
Chat. But guys, we have so much show left for you guys, and we can't wait for you to see the guests we have today. Of course, it's the last Wednesday of the month, which means it's Guys Perspective.
So we have a whole man.
That's right.
In the mix
coming
today
to share
with us.
his whole opinion.
Yes.
Sorry, it rhymed. I had to do it.
And talk some whole thing.
That's right.
And guys, don't forget to like, share, comment. Call me in.
You could call in.
We have to make sure to big up Crystal one time in the chat. She said, gosh, look my girls now. Roberto jumped on. Good afternoon, Roberto. He said, good afternoon, my one love Island Girls sisters. Sing and always smile. The plates are run. Okay. He said, honey bunny, I need some cold water, please. Bless him.
Bless your heart.
So guys, stay tuned where we have our guests coming right after the commercials.
Right.
You know what that means? Cue the commercials.
So new, but so radical.
New, the KFC Double Stacker Sandwich. 2 crispy chicken fillets sandwiched with barbecue sauce and cheddar cheese.
So new, so radical.
Order your Double Stacker Sandwich now via the app or KFC.com. It's finger licking good.
New Absolute Watermelon, always in season. 100% natural watermelon flavor, 0% added sugar. Not for persons under the age of 18. Enjoy responsibly.
World! Yes, let's explore it.
Wow, it's made with real salmon.
Look what I found. Party mixed cat snacks.
There's the delicious taste of the tuna we love.
Definitely coming back tomorrow.
Friskies, always more to explore.
I come in to let you know. All the hot girls front and center. They tune to make girl bend over. All the man wants to girl owner. This bumper goes in the van. Just know what you're doing when you come behind me. Just know what you're doing now. We go do basic. Just know what you're doing when you come behind me. Just know what you're doing now. Take jump outside that girl like a wine. Walk to the time. Jump on a man, do tricks that you can. Do headstand, big booty girl. Bring it tight to take jump outside that girl like a wine. Walk to the time. Jump on a man, do tricks that you can. Do headstand, big booty girl. Better back it up and that's okay. Right down in the dance. Done ready to roll it, roll it. Who deep in our shams? Who waiting their turn to show it? Look how your eye look and steady. Like you're walking security. With all that big boy energy. I know that you're ready, baby. Just know what you're doing when you come behind me. Just know what you're doing now. We go do basic. Just know what you're doing when you come behind me. Just know what you're doing now. Take jump outside that girl like a wine. Walk to the time. Jump on a man, do tricks that you can. Do headstand, big booty girl. Bring it tight to take jump outside that girl like a wine. Walk to the time. Jump on a man, do tricks that you can. Do headstand, big booty girl. Better back it up with that talking. Big money man, you come here to talk or work it. What you waiting on? Like you have a pain, stop choking. My bumper don't talk already. Position is good and heavy. My body don't think I should see. Come let me make I want to chuck it, wind it around and stick it. Walk up your waist and stick it. Roll that body and hit it. On top the place and then we done chuck it, wind it around and stick it. Walk up your waist and stick it. Roll that body and hit it. On top the place and then we done. Just know what you're doing when you come behind me. Just know what you're doing now. We go do basic. Just know what you're doing when you come behind me.
Hi guys, welcome back to such a jam-packed vibesy season finale, season 3 Island Girl Talk Show.
I love it.
I'm Samara Lalu.
I'm Ruby Paris.
And I'm Talia Alexander.
And in keeping with guys' perspective, we have a wonderful guest, Mr. Troy Hadid.
Love.
You can call him Love.
And don't forget, our
Right.
spotlight moment is brought to you by KFC.
KFC,
Finger licking good.
Well, on our topic of the day, you have everything.
Yeah, everything. We have everything.
Thanks, KFC.
telling you.
So we're just gonna jump right in and spotlight our wonderful guest, right? So let me tell you guys who he is in case you know. I don't know if you're blind.
Make me look good,
You know, I don't know, but
look good,
we
eh?
got this, right? So
That'll
today,
make me look good.
of course. Today we are thrilled to welcome Troy Hadid, a remarkable individual who seamlessly blends his roles as a yoga teacher, author, and social entrepreneur. Right? Troy is dedicated to exploring the depths of the human experience with a mission to take spirituality more accessible and to aid in revealing the profound connections that humanity shares. Because we're not that different, guys. Right? We're excited to dive into his insights and experiences and learn more about his journey. Right? So, Troy, thank you so much for joining us. That was good. Yeah.
Who wrote that?
Me and ChatGPT, you know. Take your flowers. Take your flowers.
Well done, Tamara.
Yes.
Well done.
So, hey, so we're diving in because we want to know more, right? So, Troy, how do you see the practice of yoga as a tool for deepening your understanding of love and interconnectedness?
Wow. Then straight into it.
Just jump in.
You know, to me, how I define the practice of yoga is a tool that helps us quiet the mind and connect to the power in the breath, right? To me, once you quiet your mind, you begin to dissolve this hold that the ego and the mind has on us. And when you do that, it connects someone to their understanding of God, in my opinion. And I think one of the biggest issues in our world today is we grow in a world where it's so identity focused, individual focused. And we identify with all these things, all of which make us different. I'm a man, you're a woman, separate.
Yes.
My name is Troy, your name is Samara, separate. I believe in X, Y, and Z, you believe in A, B, and C, separate. Race, all of it. And in the writing of this book, towards the end of it, I realized that really and truly book and the only thing I can truly identify with is love.
Wow. That's good.
Wow.
I love that.
That's amazing.
And I mean, pun. But it reminds me when people say, you know, we are spiritual beings having a human experience.
Yes.
And that the essence of your soul and the essence of spirit is love.
Yes.
And it's really beautiful to think about the way silence actually is the loudest thing that you can come into contact with.
Yeah.
Because it shows you a mirror to yourself in what you've put up as your walls and ego. And what you've more or less extolled yourself as truth and as fact. When really, if you scale it all back and you get deeper in touch with who you are, it's all like politely.
It is. And you know what's one of the most worrying things is that silence. For so many people, it's the scariest place to be.
Yes.
Of course. It's also the most uncomfortable.
Yeah. That's why people fill their lives with a lot of doing. You know?
Because you can't lie to yourself in silence, can you?
No, it's just you, yourself, and your thoughts.
I actually have a question for him because he mentioned love. Since he came, he talked about love. What is love to you?
Right. That's a good question.
You know, they have a line in the book, and this book went through about 1 million drafts. But I remember when the first draft was done, and I thought the book was done. But but close. But I remember writing that final line, and tears coming to my eye. And the line goes, it probably changed a little bit, I'm sure. But it goes something like, to embody love is to see God in the eyes of every human being, in all of creation. And then to be a mirror so he can be in awe of his own experience, existence, right? And to me, that is what love is, to see God in the eyes of every human being. If we did, how would we then be in relationship? It doesn't mean you can't be in conflict. It doesn't mean you can't draw boundaries. It doesn't mean you can't stand up for what you believe in. But the way in which we do that changes. Changes, you know?
Sorry, I know you have another question. I just wanted to ask, because you spoke about, you know, entering meditation and the process of removing ego, removing, you know, your own tunnel vision on something. With yourself, I'm asking, when did that catalyst happen with you? Because nobody is, I mean, we're culturally groomed, right? And we're socially groomed into what becomes our norm. But our norm is essentially what makes us identify as different beings from each other. So when did you reach that point in your life where you wanted to shed away from that? Or realize that I should shed away from this?
Yeah, you know, first thing I would say is it's a process, right? It's not something that I have done every day. It's a process of undoing and undoing and undoing. That's work, right? I would say that, you know, I can't tell you there's a specific point. Well, maybe somewhat. About 2 years ago, I went into experience where I went into solitary darkness in the absence of light for a period of time. My intention was to stay for 10 days, and I came out on day 3. And I referenced that because while it happened before that, during that experience, something really became really clear for me, because I went into that experience asking, well, who are we? Who am I? Who am I? And the idea was everything we define ourselves by is in relation to the world around us.
Yes.
Right? I am a human being because this is a table.
Yeah.
Everything. So if I remove the world around me and go into this complete darkness, who am I? Right? And what became really clear for me is that we are a resonance and vibration of our relationships. And in that is our immortality. For instance, our body's only certainty is death. We will leave our bodies one day, right? But the vibration of our relationships and how we make people feel, it's impossible for any one of us to leave this table as the same people that sat on it.
Right. 100%.
Right?
Yeah.
We've changed one another, right? I will always live with you and you will always live with me. And in that understanding of that vibration, we begin to glimpse our immortality. That is who we are, that vibration, that resonance of our relationships, you know? And we see a lot that we believe in life after our bodies. Well, then, if we do believe in life after our bodies, that means, well, clearly you're not your body then. It doesn't define you, right? And I think that's something we have to constantly remind ourselves, you know?
I love that.
That's a good introduction.
Yes, I'm ready for to release some questions to you.
In your journey as a social entrepreneur, right? What has been the one surprising lesson about human connection and spirituality?
Surprising.
Wow. Wow, that's a tough one.
Take some time to let it marinate.
I think as you get to know people, you know, especially in business and being an entrepreneur, you always want, a lot of the time you want people to show up differently. You want them to show up how you want them to show up to serve this bigger vision that you might have for your business or whatever goal that is, right? And you begin to realize that everyone had their own conditioning and that you can't force someone to be a different way, right? If you want someone to reprogram or recondition, rather than judge them or punish them, the first thing you need to do is love them. You know, you need to create a space in which they feel safe, seen, understood, and then you can now begin to offer an alternative way of showing up, and it'll either gel with them or it won't, you know, and that's okay if it doesn't. It's okay. But it's not about forcing anything to be any one way. And for me as an entrepreneur, I would like to believe that I try to prioritize not finances, but people, social impact. And I believe that we're living in a world now where that is shifting, but it needs to shift quicker. You know, we've come from generations of profit over people, and we now need to step into a corporate sphere, commercial sphere, where we put people over profit.
I love that. I wanted to ask a question about the book because I see the big word love, right? When you wrote the book, what was the intention behind the book in terms of like communicating that language of love? Because people define love differently. Most people would say God is love, but they also have a different understanding of who God is to them. So what was the undertone of writing a book about love, but trying to communicate it globally or to different persons?
I think, you know, I knew I was going to write a book at 20 years old, and it was called Popcorn in My Pocket. And this book was called Popcorn in My Pocket up until 6 months before publishing. And some literary friends, advisors, editor decided the book carries way too much weight for that kind of name. And I just feel that in the world we live in, I feel like a lot of us are looking in the right direction. We want to do better. We want to change the world. We post the right stuff on social media. We read the right books. We talk about the right things. But there's somewhat of a disconnect between what we're posting, what we're talking about, what we're reading, and how we're actually living our lives. I feel like there's something we're missing. And I felt that in this book, one thing I hoped to do was present ideas and teachings and philosophies, but also provide examples from my own life, not just where I embodied it, but where I failed to.
Ooh, that's good.
Right? Where I failed to, because if we really are committed to growth and transformation, we have to stop looking at the places of our life where we're embodying love and kindness. We have to look at our own darkness.
100%.
We have to look at the areas of our life where we're not embodying that.
Yeah.
And hold that up and be like, look at this. I need to look at this, right? I think that's where real spiritual growth and transformation is.
100%.
That is good.
And that's one of the things I hope to do in a book. And from the feedback thus far, I think maybe it's landing, for a lot of people, more than I thought it would.
I think definitely I get the whole the truth seeker aspect of where you are, which I think is going to bring more revelation. So keep seeking.
Thank you. Yeah.
Okay, so...
What was that?
Sorry. It was like, guys, we have 5 more minutes.
So, what word of inspiration you'll give to anybody, like, for the next generation coming? Or
One word?
if it's
just one word?
No,
That's
one
okay.
word. A
Okay,
sentence.
all right,
Not
cool.
a literal word, but
I would say that it's so important for us to understand that if you really understand that I am not my body, that I am, if you really understand that, then you can't do anything personally to harm me. Then no one can have a personal vendetta against me because I am not my body, right? So I would invite people to see relationships and see human beings, someone's actions, words, and thoughts, even though out of alignment completely, is not who they are. Right? So you can condemn someone's actions, words, and thoughts while still loving them. And I believe within every individual it's a seed of God. And I believe that seed of God is who that individual is. And if we can begin to see that, then not only can we help people recondition and reprogram and maybe see the world differently, but things like forgiveness is not an option. It becomes inevitable.
Yes.
Right? It may take time to heal. We may have work to do.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
But I think it's so important that we're born in a world where we're so conditioned by I, me. And
Self.
And I think we need to begin to really dig and look beyond that.
As you're speaking, it reminded me of the passage with the Lord Jesus when he was saying that, deny yourself, take a request. And a lot of, I guess what we experience, a lot of fruit came from doing that. Because it's so natural to, people don't understand how natural it is to be about self. So the extra stress to be about self actually making it a lot divided as what we see in the world today, rather than surrender and love and knowing that. In fact, as I said that, I wanted to ask you that question in terms of who is God to you, because I realized the connection in terms of where love now that message is coming. Like, what is your personal experience with God?
Well, Christ is my biggest teacher and has always been. And now I connect to Christ in a much larger sphere and a bigger Jesus, a bigger consciousness of Christ, And hearing you talk, like one of my favorite stories I speak of often is there's an Indian saint and he was once asked, well, I'll make his story short because it's quite he was once asked, well, how do you find God? And his reply was, you meditate like Christ. So his followers ran off all excited. He finally gave them something to do, right? And then it came back and they asked, well, how did Christ meditate? And his story goes that he paused for a moment before tears started to roll on his cheek, and then he said, he lost himself in love. Christ lost himself in love, And I think there's so much power in that when ego has its place and the body has its place, and to deny that would be to call human experience useless. But we need to be in relationship to what this is. It's just a vehicle, right? And we need to recognize that to even glimpse what love truly is, we need to lessen the hold of this individual identity that it has on us,
100%. So...
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I totally agree with that, because as you mentioned, what came up when you were speaking was the 2 commandments that was given, when Jesus said, love God with all your heart and all your
might and all
then
those
love
within you.
your neighbor as you love
Love
yourself, and everything encompasses
All
into
of
that.
that.
Like
It's a love.
loving God with everything, and then loving people the way that you love yourself and you desire to be loved.
Yeah.
And once you have that experience of God's love, it also sets a standard on the tone of what
How
you're
you
supposed
love
to
others.
give
Yeah.
to
Yes.
others.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love
And
that.
I think that's the part as she was saying that I realized that that's why it's so important in terms of the spiritual relationship rather than
Yes.
religion, because it becomes dogmatic and ritualistic,
Yeah.
and you miss the experience, and
Yeah.
the true heart. Like for instance, how we might get emotional when
Yeah.
it's because she's open,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and that openness, that vulnerability could only come from that love, the experience of love.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I get it.
But I think it's important to, I agree, but I think also like religion is also a beautiful thing. And some people connect to God in different ways, So I think whether it be organized religion or whether it be exploring different avenues, to me it's just so important that, I've seen so many people turn away from God. And that to me is really sad.
Yeah, it is.
And like the first chapter of the book, it's called Redefining God, which is ballsy. But it's so important that I think that we give people the permission to redefine their relationship to God, to take that back, rather than turn away from God.
That's nice.
Yeah.
So where can people find you and the book?
I'm at troyhaddy.com.
All right.
Guys,
He's got a website.
You can find me on Instagram. The book is available on Amazon, or you can also buy it through my website. I actually launched a clothing line called weidentifyaslove.com. So it's sold there as well. And there's a coupon code that says I am love. You get 10% off.
guys, all your insight, all your questions, right? All your real get through. Yes, of course.
This is your spot.
All right, that's true. Wicked.
He said true.
Well, and with that, we wrap, guys, our Island Girl Talk Spotlight. All the things, yes. So, Troy, thank you for taking the time to just, letting us shine some light on you,
Thank you for having me. Pleasure.
Only he's still here, so they don't go nowhere.
She sounded like he was leaving.
He was leaving. It's
We
just
have
like
the
a
whole topic of the day to go through with Troy.
With guys' perspective today, guys. So we have our guys sitting right here.
These girls lucky door.
Yes, we will not let them go.
Blink
Not
once
at all.
if you're trying to communicate, blink.
Yeah. But you all know what that means.
What I mean?
Cue the commercials. One more time.
Tech team, boy.
Cue the
Tech
commercials.
So new, but so radical.
New! The KFC Double Stacker Sandwich. 2 crispy chicken fillets sandwiched with barbecue sauce and cheddar cheese.
So new, so radical.
Order your Double Stacker Sandwich now via the app or KFC.com. It's finger licking good.
Let's explore it.
Wow, it's made with real salmon.
Look what I found. Party mixed cat snacks.
There's the delicious taste of the tuna we love.
Definitely coming back tomorrow.
Friskies, always more to explore.
I never chase no paper, and me not have no time. No, I don't need no savior. Need someone who gon' ride for love, ride for life. Yes, say for me, baby, stay behind. Don't take it slow, coming real close. Collide, collide. Don't make it hurt, coming real close. Collide. That's all I wanna do. Body shaking, boom, boom, pulse racing, boom, boom. is what we deserve. We're single now, you're my feature. We don't need no words for love. Would you ride for life? You're safe for me, baby. Stay behind. Don't take it slow. Coming real close. Collide, collide. Don't make it hurt. Coming real close. Collide. That's all I wanna do. Body shaking, boom, boom, pulse racing, boom, boom, bumper drop like boom, boom, bust it down and spin it around and put on your tail like boom, boom, pulse racing, boom, boom, bumper drop like boom, boom, bust it down and spin it around and put on your tail like. Oh, give me that nice body of mine. Give me that wine. 'Cause you know me love.
Welcome back, guys. It's the Island Girls. I'm Ruby Paris.
I'm Smaralalu.
And I'm Talia Alexander.
And guys, so you're seeing this gentleman in the
Yes,
middle.
in
It
the
is the
middle.
incredible, inspirational, serene, very calming, tranquil Troy Hardy. Also known as...
Greetings, love.
That's right. Guys, if you're now joining us, you would have missed the spotlight on Troy. But you know what you could do since you missed it?
Scrub back.
Scrub backward.
Yes, please.
Nonetheless, you are just in time for the topic of the day.
Sponsored
which
by
is
KFC.
Sponsored by KFC. Finger licking good. This takes a moment for sexy.
We are so proud of you guys.
And it comes at the season finale.
Yes. It came at the
shame.
opening and it came at the end. But guys, the topic of the day is ways that male shame can show up and affect a man's life.
Yes.
So before we launch into it, I just want to read a bit on what male shame exactly is.
Yes.
For those who aren't exactly clear of what do you mean by male shame, girl?
Yes.
So male shame refers to the deep sense of inadequacy, failure, or unworthiness that men may experience, often influenced by societal expectations and cultural norms surrounding masculinity. It is rooted in the pressure to conform to certain ideals, such as being strong, self-reliant, emotionally reserved, successful, in control, etc. And when men feel they don't measure up to these standards, they may internalize a sense of shame, which can affect their self-esteem, behavior, and relationships.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, if you saw the spotlight, big up you. If you didn't see the spotlight, I'm going to touch on it a bit.
Yes.
You know, Troy really spoke brilliantly about the power of love, the power of getting in touch with yourself and shedding ego. So I guess the question I have for him when it comes to male shame is, with men that you interact with on a daily, one, are you able to see behind the mask? And two, how do you think that differently that mask exists in those that you regularly interact with?
You'll have some hard questions. Shucks. Yeah, I think if you're paying attention, you could see behind the mask. But I think also everyone has a little bit of a mask.
Yes, true.
And yeah, you know, it's different and it shows up in different ways with different people. But we're talking about male shame, and I think there is definitely a stereotype or box that men feel like they often have to fit into. And it takes great courage to step out of that box. And very often, if they do, or even if they think about it, they're often ridiculed and made fun of.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, for sure.
I think, you know, you also spoke about unlearning these habits that we would have been groomed to believe as fact and believe as truth. And I think our society certainly puts men in a box from a very, very early age. And that kind of becomes their personal culture as life progresses, and it shows up definitely in like jobs, in their friendships, in their romantic relationships. And I know for myself, and especially in dating experiences, it wasn't always easy for me to create safe spaces for men to feel seen, feel heard, feel supported. And I guess I just wondered if that, one, is something that other ladies on the panel can relate to.
Yeah.
And two, how can we start making safer spaces for men to unlearn this conditioning where they feel safe to just be and be able to communicate that this is how I feel about this.
I think definitely as we were talking about the societal pressures and the social construction of what our culture tends to be for men, I think to take it home in some way, in that into the home, where for a lot of women or young girls, when you grow up in a household that the mother is not the safe space for the father, and so the father is masking or has, or what you see is the avoidance or the coping mechanisms of that shame, then what you learn as well is, and some mothers grow their daughters based on an idea of a man that they have and not a reality of what a man is from any kind of having a healthy relationship or an example of a healthy man, right? So when you're being raised in that, both as a man or a woman, that for women, take women first, growing up in that, then how do you don't really become a safe space, for men, because you're thinking, well, you're not this, so you're weak. Because that's what you're taught. If your conditioning is a man is this, a man is that, a man's supposed to give this, provide like this, and not having that, then this is your mindset. So if you do meet a man, because everything is theory until you have the experience, right? So when you're reaching the experience and the real life world, when you're now in a relationship with somebody and you are supposed to be the partner, that this man is a real life human man in front of you, having these meltdowns or emotions, or even just sharing in a moment. In that moment, a woman could be clocking, this man is weak. Not even like thinking that, well, this man is like this for me, only with me, because he's letting me in where he doesn't let in anybody else. So you're thinking, oh, well, this man will just be like that, all over the place looking weak, when it's no, you
choosing you to
he's
be
home with you. You are supposed to be safe space. He feels safe enough to be this vulnerable with you, and so it's that emotional maturity to embrace that. And we have this vocabulary now where I ain't nobody mother, I not supposed to be his mother, this mentality that being soft and nurturing to your partner is mothering them, when it's not. It's holding space for them and being a woman to them and loving them in a way that womanhood is, which is nurturing and kind and uplifting and all these things that we are conditioned as women to believe that we're supposed to do, right? So I feel like there's this disconnection. And then for the man now, who's raised in probably a single woman home, or even just raised more by their mothers, that they do learn emotional maturity, they do have an emotional quotient higher than most men, that they are people who would share their feelings and let you know exactly what they're thinking or feeling. And when they reach in spaces with other men who don't have that, they're bullied. They're looking like the weak man or the simp that they call it now or whatever. And women, you don't recognize that this man sharing his feelings and saying exactly, you're making me feel this way, and this is the consequence, so this is what will happen next if this doesn't change. And because he's speaking calmly and he's expressing himself, it's not even registering that this is what this man is doing, that he is, actually being an emotionally mature man and sharing his feelings. Because if he was cussing and carrying on and coughing in your face, just to say very harshly, sorry, then it's, all in on me, sorry, right? But if he is to express himself like that, then what would we say about him? Then he's a bad man, then he's not, So there seems to be like a disconnect in a cognitive dissonance that tends to happen in people's brains when there's the theory versus the practical.
For sure. You raised quite a few things there, Sam.
Sorry.
But the first thing that popped up to mind was, what are the societal expectations of what a man is supposed to be? Because on one hand, you have the man who's raised by a single mother who is kind and more nurturing and more emotionally communicative. And then you have the man who may have been raised in a nuclear family where he's seen his father also wear a mask and he's guided to be this way. But then it raises the question of how do we create a new society's culture where these conversations can comfortably happen, because even with men who are raised in single family households where they're accustomed to seeing other women, be vulnerable and seeing how men respond to that as well, they actually don't end up being more emotionally expressive. They end up feeling that they need to step up as the provider or the protector, or they're the one who has to be strong for everybody and the anchor. So how do we shift that conditioning? And before we shift it, how do we even acknowledge what it is? Because if somebody asked me now, what defines a man? I would just say, like, be a good person.
Basically.
It's just a good person. So, what would, in your own experiences in dating and romance and friendships, when you look at your male companions and your male friends, what comes to mind to you when you say, oh, he's being a man, or that's a man,
Yeah, Troy, maybe shed some light on that one for us as a man.
Considering it's male perspective.
Well, my views might be a little different.
But do tell. But was there a past you before coming into this that ever was like in that kind of mind, or that kind of growth had to happen, or even just being around others that you noticed somebody grew out of that? Or
you know what?
Like that?
Yeah. I mean, it's not any sphere of relationship really, but I grew up in a very traditional home, very business oriented home, and I did grow up with the narrative, and that narrative is still there, right? That a man needs to be financially stable and be in a position where he can provide for family and for kids and for his wife and so on. And even I was saying up to recently that, up to today actually, that, today I was at home working on my audiobook.
Right.
And part of me was guilty because I felt like I should go into office, that this is not what work looks like, right? That next month I'm going to Barbados on the beach for a month to write my second book. That's not what work looks like. So part of
That's
that conditioning, I have to look at and recondition myself. But I remember a few maybe a decade or so ago, looking at someone I respect highly, greatly, like a brother, like a teacher. And he lives his life very simply. He's such an amazing, profound artist. Profound, like globally profound. And I felt like I made one or two comments that I apologize for. But then they implied that he should be living his life differently because with his art and his talent, he could be so successful. So it comes back to how do we measure success? Because I'll tell you something, he's happy. And he's jamming, and I love him so much, and he may not be most financially well off, but he is a great, amazing success. And I think we all have to look at our own conditioning and question all of it.
It's really that. Question
it.
Because in having our, I say in our, like if I'm a man, right? But that's the acting.
But it is, right? Because we're in it together. Because here's the thing, I could do my work. But if you don't create a safe space,
it can't happen.
Jam. And you can create a safe space, but if I don't do my work,
so having that, and men having that shame within themselves, that when you see somebody else doing it differently, then you try to shame them, and not understand or give grace, or when somebody else doesn't feel that, shame and that guilt by those societal pressures, because they've redefined for themselves what success looks like, what provision looks like. Because even in the space of leadership, right, and we're taught men are supposed to lead, because biblically men lead households, right? And if we're saying that's the order, but what most people tend to not even see because of, I guess, colonialism or whatever, again, our culture, where leadership looks different, right? There are different styles of leadership. It's not just totalitarian, right? Because even if we are to look at Christ and how he led from behind, because he led with love. He was in service of everyone else, right? But also what God gave us amongst anything else is choice, right? 100%. So his leadership style is, here's choice A, here's choice B, here's the consequences of both. You choose.
Yeah, you choose.
Right?
Yeah.
And so when a man is being vulnerable and is saying, this is how I feel, this is how I'm feeling, and this is what I need from you, right? Instead of seeing it as weakness, why not see it as strength and as a type of leadership as well, because the man does not have to be aggressive to lead. You know, he does not need to be beating it. I man, I tell you, I man. You know, or whatever.
I have like a few points to add, because I'm listening to the conversation and so many different train of thoughts. So I'm trying to stay on top.
Sorry.
I wish I had pen and paper together.
Samara lend me a book. So first of all, we're talking about the ways male shame can affect a man's life, right? And this is interesting to me because I've just came into a new understanding of the word shame. And I heard somebody said this, and it really, really marinated, where they said the cure for shame is competence. And that hit me like a, because for real, when you think of the word shame, shame is like the emotion felt, but it is felt from the result of something. And it's an area of inadequacy. So if you want to cure shame, you need to have that realization that I'm insecure or inadequate in this area. How do I develop competence in this area? Now, this is where I have beef with society, because
not the beef.
Not the beef. We have beef. The thing is, and I'm really glad that I'm grounded in my faith and my relationship with God, because I was the person running down societal definitions and norms, and it's always changing.
Yes, 100%.
You reach here, and
it's a new goalpost.
And you look up, and
you finish line gone.
But what I love about God is that God is all for evolution, but He does not contradict foundation. So as much as things are changing, because the way that society is set up today, with even the access that women have in comparison to back then, it still does not contradict His original plan, where a woman is still supposed to be respectful, still supposed to love and honor her husband, even if she might be leading the country. When she goes home, she needs to understand that they don't bring that through the door here. 100%. And I think we as society tend to redefine things based on what's convenient, so
feel like
for us. And then
what's comfortable.
When we blast that over the media, and that becomes the loudest conversation, we think that because it's the loudest conversation, it's the direction everybody should go. And everybody still have a choice, despite the deficiencies that you might get from your household. Because I would have seen the story some years ago where two boys grew up in a household with a drunken father. One decided, hey, I'm going to drink too. The next one decided, I'm not touching the bottle. Power of choice. So as much as we might not like the circumstances that we might come from, because not everybody fortunate to have that mother and father in a household. And even if they do, you don't know what you're getting. But you at a certain point need to reach an age and decide, hey, there are some deficiencies here. Let me decide what the competence in that area looks like. But what we have is people blaming the past, then they come into relationship with people, and now somebody kind of shows you a trait that you didn't heal from with your mom or your dad. Now you take that person is responsible for your healing, your inner work, and now it's their duty to kind of step up to the plate and fix you. When at the end of the day, we all have a responsibility.
I'm so glad you said that.
Everybody else, you have a responsibility for yourself. If you realize, hey, I grew up in a household where I didn't have a dad, and I don't know what that male presence looks like, I need to go get the tools and resources to fill that deficiency in my life. Instead of walking around with the shame of, oh, it's me, I need to become responsible for me.
I'm so glad you're saying this, Nisi, because I feel like a lot of not even just male shame, I just feel like shame surrounds, you're right, not knowing, I would say, self. Because you can be influenced so easily with things happening so quickly with media and social media, how it affects society, how it changes the culture of a space. But there comes a point in your life where you have to make that choice of, I could reflect on my past and say, these things contributed to who I am now, but going forward, I'm choosing to become something else. Yeah. And, you mentioned a lot of people that you come into contact with, you'll see them evolving and you'll see them being influenced by social media, but you'll also see traits in them that you admire. And you'll also see traits in them that inspire you, like, oh, this person, they just bring a certain level of joy to me, but I've never experienced that before. Yeah. I don't know how to accept it, but I want to replicate it. And they often say imitation is the greatest form of flattery. Right. If you want to fake it till you make it, fake it till you make it. Because at a point in time, fake it's going to become genuine until you achieve that change. Yeah. And change is not instant. We know this. Change is a constant for the rest of your life. Unlearning is going to be happening for the rest of your life. Because there are little things in your, what I call your genetic blueprint, that are going to pop up in the most random of situations and experiences. And the inner child in you is going to feel that level of insecurity, which will result in a level of shame. Right. But it takes you to check in with yourself, how much progress have I actually made on this? So in this experience and in this circumstance, in this situation, this is an opportunity for me to see my growth. Yeah. And then you can check in with yourself, like, normally I would respond to this way, but this time I didn't. And give yourself a little pat on the back. Yes. I mean, I think I've grown.
Actually, I want to actually hear from you too when it comes to this too as well. It would be nice to touch on in terms of the different ways where there is male shame, like how it will look, how we could perceive it as women who move alongside. And I'm thinking, based on everybody's input now, that there is a balance because of course, everybody needs to do their own work inside, for sure. Yeah. For sure. That needs to be a desire, because if you don't desire that, then you're saying that you're perfect, and that is a cause for a fall. Yeah. Right? If you're in humility, you will learn a lot of stuff. You're always growing, right? With that said, because even when you come into a relationship, there's two human beings coming together. Therefore, it's not going to be perfect, and therefore you're going to see these traits, and therefore you have to know how to maneuver that for that relationship to work. 100%. Which means that you have to have grace within yourself and provide grace for the person. I think one of the ways that I personally see that could also work to help the man, because I want to say this to all the guys out there one time. When women converse with one another, we are very raw and real and emotional and all of that, and we will, depending on the relationship with the woman too, Yeah. But we probably argue now and then be cool after, but we talk, we communicate. But I think it's a little bit different when it comes to the male-female relationship, because for some reason the words that a woman spews, even if she does it to a friend, the man takes it so, it's such a sword that it can actually kill the relationship. And I think that's traumatic for women too, because I had to understand the importance of words based on the opposite sex, because I could do that with friends, or a friend could do it with me, and then we might get vexed, whatever, but it's like water over your shoulder kind of way. But I guess it's a woman thing. But when we are with a man, they're battling their own insecurities, and they're not able to really see that, okay, we're just talking here. I'm probably in my mood right now, but it's not like I'm putting you into pigeonholing you into this particular thing for forever. Yeah. But it comes across like that it hurts.
But sometimes women do,
Well, that's the next thing. But then again, the maturity, I guess, spiritually, to know that this is your person and they're not that other woman, because sometimes there's triggers from that. That they bring in. So that I think because I realized that too, like a lot of it has to do with the perception that the person already has, because you could do plenty, and if that person's still seeing you in a negative, it's unfortunate, because we are human beings. It's gonna be flaws.
So
I think the again, sometimes you gotta be quiet. Let them speak. But then on the other end as well, for the man to grow, there must be a desire to understand how women are, because like with our bodies, we have periods, we have pregnancy. So for a lot of times, your body doing something that you yourself not even ready for, and you have to learn to cope. So we come at it from that perspective, whereas with a guy, you might be coping in a different way, but our body is changing without we even wanting it. We didn't want the period. We didn't want to have to go through painful. So there's something, honestly, like we can't neglect that truth as well. And I think maybe that is what causes even more of the differences there. And how do we marry for the sake of it?
Well, I have so much to say. I really wish I had a book.
Some anecdotes,
I wish I had a book. But on that note, for me, it's really simple. It's about conversation and understanding, right? I can't look at anybody and say, you should be this way. Why you saying that? My first question should be, how are you feeling? How can I support you? Like, and then create a space for that sharing to happen. And then furthermore, when my partner says something that I didn't expect them to say, or I take like an attack or like a stab, not to react to that in a negative way, but to take that and be like, all right, cool. You know what I mean? That hurt. But to really look at that and start asking the question, well, what did I say or do? How am I showing up that made her feel that way? Right?
Or even what in me is making me feel this like a stab or a hurt.
Or why did I even do that, right? And to me, it comes back to something Rudy was saying is... Ruby. And humanness is so important. Acknowledging our own humanness. I remember saying to a friend once, sometimes we forget we're not supposed to have it figured out.
This is our first time doing life.
And there's two.
Maybe not,
wow,
but still.
Well, I also believe in reincarnation, but still.
It's like if we had it figured out, we wouldn't be here. We wouldn't be in our bodies.
Because we're done. It's achieved. Done.
And I think only when we cut ourselves that slack and realize it is okay to acknowledge our flaws. Let's post our flaws on social media. Right?
And honestly, just be transparent and even saying, I don't know. Like that. We always feel like we need to have it all figured out. I mean, you raised a few things, Tash raised a few things, and it just, my mind going.
That's good.
And it reminded me of a relationship where I was in, and the guy was out of a job. He'd been out of a job for about 3 years at this point. He had been out of a job for like a year. COVID hit, and then he was out of a job for 2 years. And there was a lot of male shame around that, to the point where like he'd spiraled into depression. He'd become addicted to different things, and addicted to different things, and I could not understand it. Because for me, it was like, okay, so you have your time here at home to do something with it. But I didn't recognize at the moment he just needed someone in his life to give him support. Because everyone in his circle was, all of them were jabbing at him to be like, go this, try this. And in a partnership, he just needed me there as support. To be like, it's okay. It's okay that you don't know what to do next. It's okay that you feel inadequate. It's okay that you feel depressed. It's okay that, these things hurt instead of help when people are like, do this. Because it reminds you of feeling like you're unworthy. But that does not mean that it's fact. And I should have been there as a support to be like, I have your back. And whatever time you need to take to get this done, because it will happen. This is a chapter in your life. It's going to be over, and it's going to go into a new one, and you will overcome this, because this too shall pass. But I'm here with you as your teammate. And I mean, the relationship, obviously, as I said, it was an ex. It didn't work out, bless him. But I'm in a relationship now where the conversations are of that nature of, I support you through and through, and whatever decision you make, just know that I'm here for you as your teammate. Even on some things that you said where, you're in a conversation with a partner and they've caused you unintentional hurt. To even say, because we do it in our relationship, when you say this, I receive it like this. Is that what you intended? Because that hurt me.
Yeah.
And for us to have that comfort and vulnerability, for me, was a testimony of growth from what I'd experienced in other relationships. And sometimes other relationships happen for you to learn about yourself and reflection. Everything is clear in hindsight.
I agree. One thing I would say that I had to learn about myself, and it also helps me offer that compassion to others, is that when you see somebody going through that sense of depression, it's a mirror where their sense of identity kind of gets blurred. So you see how you said that the trigger was the stuff with the job. So his identity was connected to work. So now when that's taken away, who am I? You understand?
On point.
And not understanding. Like for me, I had to do a whole reconstruct where I do things, but that's not my identity. So anytime it's taken off the table, it shouldn't affect me, that attachment. And I think a lot of the time, our dynamic of success is really attachment to things. So for instance, you're living in a big house, you feel successful, something happened and you go and rent in a small room, all of a sudden you feel worthy. So you need, we all, male and female, need to have an identity outside of things.
And even outside of your relationship.
So you need to be able to know your sense of self or who you are outside of anything external. That is where your relationship with God comes into play.
100%.
And another thing I want to debunk, when it comes to relationship, and this used to be me a lot, because I bought into the whole Cinderella fairy tale romance stuff where I'm looking for my soulmate, I'm half and he's the next half, and when we find each other, we become whole. And that is so dangerous. Because the thing is, you're supposed to be whole. And even if you come across somebody that mirrors things that you are lacking, your job is to sit as a student and learn. Not need to attach yourself to that person so that they have the stuff that I'm missing. So the more I'm close to them, I feel whole. But the moment that is cut, I'm back to feeling half again. You know?
You're absolutely correct. I mean,
so I think even when we come in relationships and you see things in persons that you love, or they might see things in you, that is like, you become a student in that space. 100%. You could learn from them and evolve as a person. But you should not just be like, okay, well, I have this weakness here, but he has the strength there, so we go good together. You know? And I need his area of strength for me to look good instead of me learning to get the competence in that area.
I think it's actually both, you know why? Because I think there's so at least from my personal experience and stuff with God, there is a place for leaning on someone and for bearing what we with one another. So there's a grace that he gives for that too. At the same time as well, again, you're a student, so you're learning. Because we have differences for a reason. You know? So I think it's a bit of both and not necessarily one or the other. But again, it takes again, spiritual maturity and a sense of self-awareness to know or be able to understand, okay, this is where this could be negative in my life and I need to address this, because if I don't, especially if I want to say whether it's a relationship or a career or just your own purpose, whatever it may be, it could actually destroy that, and I don't want that. So let me address that. And also, again, as you said before, being able to once you have grace for yourself, you're gonna have grace for other people too. Because then you get to see them from his eyes. In other words, you know what? I saw what they did over here. You big them up. Because again, it's insecure if all I have to say is just criticism to you. That is a reflection of what's going on in me. So I actually wanted to find out from you, like, give us some information about like what male shame, like different examples of that looks like, and you know, probably you all could touch on how especially you. I would like to hear about.
Before I share that, I really do want to just touch on the chat. I mean, we have been going, but the chat is also popping.
We have a chat.
But how you mean?
Things.
Correct. The last we spoke, Roberto said, I said in my reviews, if you don't come and tell. If you don't mind, come and tell. He said, thank you, my sisters. Those shy. Say something, make a conversation, even gibberish. Let's hope it comes to sweet saltfish. Thank you so much. You're beautiful ladies in my eyes and in the creator's eyes. Fire Wolfman said, greetings and blessings, ladies, Troy and everyone. Look, Nisi. But when Crystal, boy, I rewind because we talk about that, right? He said, have an amazing finale. King 32 said, good evening, all. Good evening, King.
Yes, King. Welcome
to the show. After the show, you can watch us on Tempo. Landell said, good evening to all the ladies of Island Girls Talk. May there be a season 4 and continue to inspire others in a positive way.
Thank you.
Roberto said, fire in a loony hair, do. To get some juice nuts, I say I crazy. One love, baby lady. I will never do that. I am human.
That's sounding like code.
Good. And then Landell said, men indeed need a place to let out their pain and finding solutions to their problems and finding someone to support them and confide in them. Crystal Kane said, speak the thing, Sam. Landell said, hey everyone, happy Independence Day in advance. And also Crystal Kane, God blessings going forward. Johanse asks, Troy.
Yes, question.
When was the last time you felt shame?
That's good.
Oh, wow, we started in sync. I really that too.
Thanks for that.
Yeah, Johan C. Yeah. Always bringing it. Always bringing it.
Boy.
Always bringing it.
Remember back face?
Johan C. How you could do that? Shucks.
When was the last time you felt shame?
Yeah, to start like this, it was a Sunday afternoon.
You understand? But it can't be too long, right? Because the alarm went off twice.
Oh, shucks.
We just real talk the things.
All you know is get juicy topic.
Hey, it's the season finale, but still.
That's right.
I can answer real quick.
Okay.
Real quick, because if I really had to take some time, right? I think...
Are you feeling shame right now?
I think for me right now, the biggest part of shame in my life revolves around financial status. Usually. And also to element the fact that I am a 40-year-old man who has not yet settled down and had a family. And you know what I mean? That's a big narrative.
It's very cultural narrative.
Yeah, that's a big narrative. And I have my own reasons for that I firmly believe in. But still, that doesn't mean that it's not an undertone of shame. You know, because I think for all men, there's big shame that'll bring you to your knees and you hold your head in your hands. And I have a few of those moments too. That'll take some digging deep. But then there's a subtle shame.
Vibration on the surface.
That every day we have to face. You know?
Yeah.
That was beautifully said, and I think a lot of people would connect with that and relate to that.
Yeah.
And Tals, you asked me what are key aspects of male shame.
Like examples of that, like for men to see, you know.
I mean, there are the obvious ones, which are like social expectations of masculinity. There are fear of being seen as inadequate when it comes to couple dynamics. There's
suppressed emotions.
They're not sharing how they feel at all. Instead, they'll just shut down and lock you off and close out and stay cold. I think in what I just shared with my ex, you know, the impact of failure. That's something that pops up quite a lot with men when they feel like even something as simple as a sports day and dad running for the children. Those dads are so competitive. And if they come second,
because the kids they're watching them, so it have a level.
But there's also a level of not just competitiveness for the kids and to make them proud, but even just to be seen by the other women on the field or the other men on the field that I am the alpha, you know, and it runs really subtly underneath. You're absolutely right on that. And of course, the cultural and familial influences. There's no denying that, especially in Caribbean households. I mean, the pressure is getting worse. But I'm grateful for this generation that things seem to be changing because the conversations are happening. And then in different ways, men tend to isolate.
That's a big one.
When it comes to feeling ashamed, they rather not have to face what's bringing them the shame and just remove themselves. Sometimes it even shows up in arguing to just reestablish your position in a household, as I think you had mentioned it earlier, when it has a nuclear family and the man is and being a perfectionist.
Yes.
You
The
nailed it on your head of
perfectionism.
just reminding us that we're all having a human experience.
Mm-hmm.
And Nisi also mentioned we're all experiencing life for the first time.
Yes.
We're not going to get it right all the time, and we don't have to.
Yeah.
And give yourself that permission to make mistakes, to stumble, to be like, I really don't know.
Yeah.
But-
And it's okay.
And the only way we're gonna grow is to be able to look at our flaws and be like, all right, this is where I need to do better.
Absolutely.
And be okay doing that.
Absolutely.
I actually two things came to mind. As he mentioned it, I will touch on this first before I touch on the other thing. Quickly. I think of a parent who sees their child like after rain is falling and there's mud and they're having a grand time, so they allow them to play. But then as a safety and as a love mechanism, you have to come in and I have to clean you up. So you could come inside because there's bacteria, it could harm you. And I think understanding that life is like that there's moments for that experimentation, but there's moments where you are being called to clean up. And that they're both love. You know, because love is not just what I feel. Love also has a ground in a state as well as a safety and that balance. So I think of that even when it comes to old age as well, some people who lose their minds or whatever, and then you know your children may have to take care of you if you're fortunate, because some people might put them in a home or whatever. That's a vulnerable from the time you come into the world as a baby, or if you leave as a very old person, you're still dependent on somebody. And I think there's a life lesson in that as well. We don't have all the answers. The second thing I want to touch on is the isolation part that she's speaking about. And I want to address this to everybody out there. We were created, we were made in a world full of people. And there's a balance between that time for yourself, but also how you coexist with people. And we could miss that sometimes, because sometimes you feel safe when you're by yourself. You learn a lot of stuff, but there's another level of learning amongst people, and we could miss that as well. And it's uncomfortable, yes, but then there is a growth there that needs to take place, because you're going to, you know, some people who over-isolate, sometimes they battle suicidal thoughts and then they take their life because they never break out of it or be brave enough to share. So we want to encourage men that yes, in some ways there are truths to your strength, and that's good, you know, but on the other aspect of it, that you're very much human, and you need to also be able to confide in somebody, if it's not with your partner, or like even just your time with your creator in meditation and stuff. I know it looks kind of like a stigma, but counsel is important too. There's hope, but
100%.
you know, don't think that you have all the answers on. Don't over isolate. There's something sometimes a lot of too much of one thing is not good. Moderation. There's a lot to learn and all of that. So I just wanted to touch on that a bit.
I'll say two things on that if I can. One is I live on the North Coast in Parliament, and if I shout, nobody will hear me.
Right.
So I spend quite a bit of time alone, and there are days when I will drive into town just to have an interaction with someone over a counter. Because there's a resonance and a vibration of human beings that we feel. And 100%. We're not conscious of how it impacts us, but it's very real to be among community and people. And the other thing I would say in regards to seeking counsel is you know, I believe that we all have a curriculum, and that curriculum is so intertwined, right? We give each other, we're not only each other's teachers, we're each other's students. We give each other purpose, right?
Absolutely.
So and maybe this might be a way a man might want to frame it, is that if you feel vulnerable or you want to share, think of it as that person you open to, you are giving them purpose.
Yes, 100%.
Right, you are giving them purpose in their life to be of service to you. And I believe that whether we recognize it or not, that is the greatest desire of the spark of God inside any human being, is to be of service.
So you could end up missing that because you're feeling like, oh my God, there's a shame in this, but you don't understand you could actually help.
And especially if you give that, if you give yourself that thing of, I'm that person, I'm the provider, I have to be strong for everybody. So when you're always giving,
you don't allow yourself to receive, and you don't know how to receive because you don't learn receiving, you know. So that's a really good point, and just allowing.
It reminds me of a story I saw on Facebook, and it made so much sense, and it also changed the way how I view when I'm in the seat of giving. And sometimes, like, people might feel a sense of shame when they're in a season where all they could do is receive. So it was like two neighbors, two families, right? Two neighbors, two families. And one were a little less unfortunate than the other. So they would normally come and ask for, like, things, borrow food, stuff like that. And ever so often, the one that was in the position to always be given, she would ask the lady for salt.
Yes.
Right?
I saw that,
And I think the child asks her, like, why are you asking for salt when we have salt?
We have real salt. We over salty.
And I was like, because I want them to feel that they also they could give us something. So that when they are in need, they don't ever feel like, okay, well, I'm always asking. And I have nothing to give. So ever so often she will ask her, hey, let me get some salt. Just to give her the opportunity to give, and also understanding that is probably all she can give.
Correct.
So that person don't ever feel the shame of always having to be the one to receive. And that made me really, really like understand that from the both sides, because sometimes you might feel a good way to be in the position to give somebody, but they as much as they need the help, they might also feel like we're taking too much, you know. So
and that can lead to isolation too.
Open up Pandora's box there.
You did. But we do not have the time to take into that.
Hold on, I have a comment. I have a comment.
We'll be back in season 4.
Part 2. So what that opens up for me is this. Now I'm big on introspection and questioning, internal introspection. And I think it would really serve us to look at, I'll say for a man, this idea of giving, and wanting to be that person in a relationship or a household. Is that ego-driven? Is that
the motive?
What is the motive, right? Is that motive self-serving?
Selfless.
Or selfless?
Yeah.
Is it authentic or not? Because I could tell you straight up, a lot of men want that position.
Yeah.
Maybe women too, because they want to create a dependence.
Correct. Because it helps them master shame.
That's right. I was going to say ego, but shame.
But they also want to know that woman can't go anywhere.
So now it becomes a matter of control.
Right?
Yes.
And I firmly believe that real love, if you really love someone, you can't really love someone unless you're willing to lose them.
Yes.
No, I don't like that. I don't like that. That's scary.
Yeah, it's scary.
No, it's scary. It's scary.
Season 4?
But season 4, 2025. Guys, what a conversation. What a conversation. I feel like we're ending on ellipses, okay? We cannot end on a full stop. But before I wrap up our subject and topic of the day, I just want to make sure we recap on different ways you can work on your own internalized shame
proactive
and your own insecurities moving forward to ensure that you don't project that shame onto your relationships, onto your dynamics, and onto many people that you're going to meet in this life.
Onto yourself.
Okay, go through.
One of these ways could be, of course, to recognize the emotion. I feel like addressing it and acknowledging it in the first place allows you to move forward. Recognize it for what it is and practice self-compassion. Give yourself a little blight, give yourself a break. You're not perfect and no one expects you to be. Cut yourself some slack. You are human. You're a spirit having a human experience, and in this human experience, you're going to have challenges, tests, and trials. And even if those challenges, tests, and trials are yourself.
Everybody goes through them.
Go and seek some professional help. And I don't mean in a way like something's wrong with you, but I mean in a way that you can professionally have an exchange where you basically pay for a safe space. You know, whatever that looks like for you, be it therapy, be it yoga, be it I'm going on a hike with some friends to just connect with nature for a while out in the wilderness. Do what feels right for you, but make sure you're guided by a professional to ensure that you find the anchor or the root cause of where this is stemming from. Then I would suggest, again, the hike with a group, support groups, because in a weird way, support groups can make you feel like you're not alone. But I mean, it can also, on the flip side, support like self-deprecating thought. But for most of it, when you see those who share the same experience, similar experiences or similar feelings as you do, it encourages you to boost each other up, pull each other out of it together. We're on this journey and this progress road together. So be a team. Then I would suggest develop emotional literacy. And what do I mean by that? It's one thing to recognize those emotions, it's another thing to be able to articulate it. It's another thing to be able to say, actually, this burning in my chest may not necessarily be anger, it might be anxiety, it might be insecurity, it might be disappointment, it might be hurt. Really break down what does this physical reaction connect to emotionally in going into your conversations to address the root cause of your problem. And again, that leads straight into communication skills. Just having that hard conversation, you realize the more hard conversations you have, is the easier it gets to have them. Especially when you build a trust with that support system, that partnership, that group, where you feel like, okay, when I say these things, it actually does not fall on deaf ears. And if you need to repeat it more than once, do that. You are owed that in this life. Like, taking care of yourself is your priority before you could take care of anybody else. So before you show up to be the provider, the supporter, the fighter, be that for yourself first. In that, I'm saying foster new relationships if your relationships around you aren't allowing you to have that safe space. Seek it. There's nothing wrong with building new connections that allow you to be seen, to be heard, and to feel safe. In fact, I strongly encourage it.
And with that,
almost, they're like 3 more.
Dating.
Challenge societal norms, as Troy said in the spotlight. Ask questions. Ask the hard questions. And why do we think that we need to be this way? And why does society tell me I should be this way? And redefine masculinity with answering those questions. And the last thing I would say is to practice your self-care and do healthy activities. Set your boundaries. In setting boundaries, you maintain so much more self-respect that people now approach you differently than if they were to just override it and only talk about themselves, really. But I have given you a lot to think about.
Rewind, come back.
And honestly, for season 4, part 2 definitely needs to make a comeback. Troy definitely needs to make a comeback. Your island girls gonna make a comeback. And guys, this topic of the day was brought to you by KFC. Finger licking good. And with that, we're up. We'll be back in a few moments. Don't go anywhere.
Where you going?
Don't go anywhere.
We'll be
Tech team. Cue the commercials.
So new, but so radical.
New! The KFC Double Stacker Sandwich. 2 crispy chicken fillets, sandwiched with barbecue sauce and cheddar cheese.
So new, so radical.
Order your Double Stacker Sandwich now via the app or KFC.com. It's finger licking good.
New Absolute Watermelon, always in season. 100% natural watermelon flavor, 0% added sugar. Not for persons under the age of 18. Enjoy responsibly.
World, yes, let's explore it.
Wow, it's made with real salmon.
Look what I found. Party mixed cat snacks.
There's the delicious taste of the tuna we love.
Definitely coming back tomorrow.
Friskies, always more to explore.
Never had them like this. KFC nuggets. Back on the menu with a twist. New spicy nuggets, the dark and the dark. KFC nuggets are the best around. And spicy nuggets the best. With enough dips, no one to contest. I swear it's 100% chicken breast. And everybody else be whole second best. Back on the menu with a twist. Never had them like this. Spicy nuggets are the tastiest.
KFC chicken nuggets are back on the menu. Now you can choose between the new hot and spicy flavor or original, or mix them up starting at $24.95 only at KFC.
Make sure you have a drink in your hand and you're ready to jump. Yeah, yeah. Ooh. Everybody come out today. Festival nice again. Yeah, yeah. Explicit boy. What a joyful feeling. Who else could relate? The carnival spirit saying welcome back again. What a fantastic feeling. Who else couldn't wait? The carnival spirit saying welcome back again. Oh Lord, this feeling. Today is gonna be a special day. Ooh. Not missing this for nothing. Welcome back again. First of all, I want to start by saying thank you for bringing us together. I appreciate you. Today we out here looking for more than a taste. Cause we love we carnival and we love our bacchanal. Oh yeah. Cool Caribbean breeze, that's where I'm gonna be. No one in the world does party like a Trini. In the pavement, dry man, soca start to play. I right up by the speaker, drinking my rum, holding on to my woman. What a joyful feeling, who else could relate? The carnival spirit saying welcome back again. What a fantastic feeling, who else couldn't wait? The carnival spirit saying welcome back again. Oh Lord, this feeling. Today is gonna be a special day. Ooh. Not missing this for nothing. Welcome back again. Take a video, take a selfie for your IG. Hashtag welcome back and post it on your stories. Looking for a console cause we drunk tonight. Document the carnival cause it's plenty bacchanal. Oh yeah. Cool Caribbean breeze, that's where I'm gonna be. No one in the world does party like a Trini. Behind the music truck, jumping up as one. I right up by the speaker in my section. Hung up tight with my woman. What a joyful feeling. Who else could relate? The carnival spirit saying welcome back again. What a fantastic feeling. Who else couldn't wait? The carnival spirit saying welcome back again. Oh Lord, this feeling. Today is gonna be a special day. Ooh. Not missing this. Fly like pretty, I mean no, pretty, I mean no, pretty, I mean no this, no this. Sexy as a show, man, I pass and I blow kiss. Pretty, I mean no, pretty, I mean no, pretty, I mean no this, no this. Sexy as a show, man, I pass and I blow kiss. Confidence intact, misdemeanor, little missy, got the prissy unlocked. Two pack in at the front, not a biggie at the back. Hands on my knees, I can still make it clap, make it clap. So clean, so nice. Whole lot of sugar, lot of spice. Shorty dripping Chardonnay on ice. Gucci shades on ice. Got me, I got a prize.
Welcome back, guys. It's your Island Girls. I'm Ruby Paris.
I'm Smara Lalo. And I'm Talia Alexander.
And of course, guys, it's the last Wednesday of the month, so it is Guys' Perspective. And we have the amazing Troy Hadid with us. And now it's time for Sip and Spill. Cheers! The animation came up.
About time.
I love it, I love it.
Team?
Wait, guys.
Take your flowers.
Hold on. There's a little more where we sip.
Sip, Troy.
All right. No pressure.
And we spill. Of course, guys, this segment is brought to you by Absolute Vodka Watermelon. So no, Troy here. So we had to put him in the hot seat.
Yes, the hot
We had to put him in the hot box.
I just asked questions like, so what's gonna happen now? had no clue.
But before we put Troy into the hot box, I just had to go into the chats. I saw some things during our break, and I just wanted to highlight your handshake, congratulating Troy, saying, Troy, tell them the truth. Well done. I felt your sincerity. Crystal, we miss so dearly. This is usually her segment, so I hope I did you justice. She said, Troy had to come back. Yes.
Anytime.
Absolutely. And Fire Wolfman said, yes, bring him back. So now we have Troy in the hot box. My first question for you is, what defines a good friend?
Somebody that will never leave your side.
Simple.
You may not see them for decades, but then you know they're always there. And you know when you see them, it's like you always liming yesterday.
I couldn't agree with you more.
I love that.
When you said you wouldn't see them for decade, but then I mean they left your side.
You know what you meant. But I
We'll
couldn't agree
always be
more.
there when you need you.
I couldn't agree more.
Good one.
Anybody have a
You
different
catch them, you catch
definition?
them.
I actually agree with his definition.
I
I think
agree.
because I've experienced it, and I think it's, to me, that is friendship, not like someone who feels like it's like, you know, you're ripping out their heart because we can't see each other, and then well, you will evolve, you'll grow. So when you have someone who understands that when you'll come, it's like if you'll never left. I think that is such a very powerful thing.
A question.
And that's not conditional,
All right.
What has been your most embarrassing moment to date?
Wow, boy.
Just remember you have to answer this question too.
Yes.
We all have to answer these questions.
That's okay.
Why do you?
We had to go out with a bang.
That's right, season finale.
Time to air talk.
Time to air most embarrassing moment to date.
Yes.
Oh my
space. Share
That's
your
right.
shame.
We sharing ours after you too.
Yeah, we share it too. It's not just you.
I made a comment that made my girlfriend at the time feel very diminished. And being a man who grew up in a culture where misogyny is infused in us, and we consider it normal in a lot of ways, I didn't realize at the time the power of what came out of my mouth.
Right.
And my comments. And or my comment. And only when shown back to me, it was like,
Oof.
how could I have said that?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Understood.
So it was an element of knowing that I should have known better.
Yeah.
And I know this thing where it's Maya Angelou, it's a beautiful quote where she says, if you knew better, you would do better. That's not always true.
No.
That's not always true. We may know better, and we may know that we can do better.
But do we actually
But
do it?
in that situation with what we're navigating in life at that point in time, sometimes you just can't. And it slips us. And that's part of our humanness.
Yeah, because my parents always say to know and not to do is not to know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
100%.
You know, but you don't know.
yeah.
You know? So
But you may know, but you may not practice.
But Olia, don't go down the road because we need to hear from Olia. What is Olia?
So
So, Olia,
we're going so good.
My most... Ollie, go first. I go in last.
I still thinking about it.
I think I answered a variation of this already. So when I had the whole viral moment.
Oh yeah. Oh,
But
yeah.
but I've since recovered. So today, I think I share Troy's sentiment because of lately, like I used to pride myself in being like a lover until I realized like my definition of love and what God's definition of love was so
With a friend. Oh my gosh.
And now learning to love God's way, I realized I had the realization that I've hurt a lot of people. Not even understanding that what I was given in that moment was pain, you know, and that kind of makes me sad. But because of God and His grace and forgiveness, I kind of like, okay, Lord, let me do better. Let me use every opportunity that you send me going forward to not just sit in that space and dwell on it, but really use that opportunity to not repeat that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well said. Well, my experience is so trivial in comparison.
Probably mine too.
Like the first thing that came to mind would have been like forgetting lines on stage and freezing in the moment. You know, as a performer, that's like one of our biggest fears is to
look impromptu queen over here.
I have some of those too.
Listen.
I have some of those too. Yeah.
That's make me shame. And because I'm someone who is so obsessed with learning lines first, so that when I'm in my scene with my scene partner, I can give and I can play with the subtext and the emotions, and then to just watch them watching me go blank. And it's one of those scenes where they can't even interrupt, like they can't even help me, they can't even support or feed me a line, because in that moment they're supposed to be absolutely silent. So I'm there like, oh my God, what happens to my character next? Where do we go from here? That is probably one of my most embarrassing moments.
That is horrid.
It's one thing to pause for dramatic relief. It's another thing when the audience catches on. Like, she doesn't know her lines. That was a pause too long.
Oh my gosh. My most embarrassing moments. My most embarrassing moments have always involved alcohol, to be honest.
Yeah, boy.
Like, I think God is trying to tell you something.
Alcohol with bowel movements. It's so embarrassing. I remember a birthday, and my friends, they know. Like, one of my friends actually, like, she broke, like, she stretched a tendon or something. She ended up in a cast after that birthday party. But it was so terrible. Like, I forgot that I did not eat.
Oh,
and
my
I drank
days.
everything.
And
it was on a boat. We went down the island. And I was like having the bestest time. And then one, after a point, I just don't remember. Right?
Oh no!
But I just remember we went under a tree to pee. I don't remember the rest of that night, like at all, right? So when they were told, like, they were like, "Where's Samara?" And then I'm like, "I good, I here." They look back, it's because I'm flat to the ground. Like, I good, I here. In my mind, I'm moving. I'm not.
You're not moving. You're just on the ground.
I'm glad you were around people who kept you safe, Sam.
So bad. No, that night got progressively worse though. But
God
yeah.
Wow.
I couldn't. I mean,
I remember you on some corner, but I'm guessing not.
No,
that.
I'm not repeating that story. What I would say is that honestly, like now, I don't really have like much of an embarrassing thing. You know, I think more is really like the spiritual part. Like if I, like, if God has shown me conviction about something,
you'll feel shame,
and then I go good with it
and mess it up.
And when I mess that up, but the beautiful part of it is when I feel really, really, because remember, it's the same perfectionist thing he's working out of me, because now I'm leaning on his strength now, which takes a while to get used to.
Yeah.
I'm unlearning stuff and learning new things. And the beautiful part is, after all of that, is just him keep rushing back and hugging and loving and then showing me, hey, let's go. It's okay, you know? And to me, that... So I can understand what Troy is saying in terms of with his girlfriend and stuff like that. Like, for me, it was just a matter of like knowing better and going so well for a long time and then just messing it up.
Yeah.
I don't really care what people think is really him. So, but to see his grace is like, okay, let me just,
I have a quick bonus one. I now remember it, and because Saturday's Independence, I think it's perfect.
Stream.
So there was this time that there was an opening of a function, and they said, hey, we need somebody to volunteer to sing the national anthem. And I'm like, this is my moment.
She's forgetting national anthem.
It's my moment to shine.
Yes.
Here's
So
a perfect
I
laugh
went
again,
on the
Ruby.
stage, and I started. Forge from the love of liberty. And my mind went blank.
Oh.
No. And I just stare. You know, they had the little music.
Yeah.
and this is a function. This is a function.
Embarrassing.
And I love my ability to impromptu because I started hum. I could not remember the words.
Yeah.
I
But the
started
melody.
hum. And then somewhere along about 4 lines to the end, the audience caught on.
Not here every
and
creed and race.
They now come in and started like, I was like, and started sing along.
Okay,
after
good.
Like about a
A
whole
long
song.
chapter of me humming. The national anthem.
Big up Trinidad and Tobago.
Glad that these things happens before social media.
Oh yes,
Sure.
you have been viral.
True.
For sure.
That is so hilarious.
Yeah.
Very well.
Who's my question? I
Yeah,
think
come.
Would you call yourself brave?
Yes.
It's a very simple question.
Sorry, it was
Yeah.
me to answer first. Go ahead, Trey.
Me?
Would you consider
Yeah.
yourself brave?
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
My answer is yes too.
Yes.
Yeah. Talia.
Yeah.
What
What Crystal said last week. Do it scared.
Do it scared. Yes.
Yeah, I
Being
consider
honest,
myself
being
brave.
honest.
Does your family have any big traditions?
Can't say
Oh,
I don't think so.
Yeah, I think so.
Nothing out of the ordinary or
Yeah.
like
The Christmas.
My mom has one where she calls like her children on the time that they like she pushed them out like on their birthday.
wow. Yeah.
So like I don't hear happy birthday from my mom until it's 4:30 on December 4th. Like everybody's celebrating happy birthday, and I like mommy like I don't exist
yet.
until 4:30.
But you're
December
growing
4th.
though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she normally calls all her children on the time that they were born.
Okay.
That's actually really sentimental.
Wow. Mine would be just that family comes together on Christmas Day. Like everybody comes to usually our house, and that would be it. And cake and ice cream for birthdays. That's just the
Yeah,
two
I actually
really
agree with that
traditions that
Yeah.
my
It's a
family have.
must.
Yeah.
That one is a must. Like
Yeah.
our home. And I think it's sweet too because the cake and ice cream don't have to cost a lot. you know.
Exactly.
They will find a way to just make that.
Yes.
And it's become so staple that even if I'm in a relationship, like that becomes the fundamental, not the gifts or anything so
Yeah.
much, just the memory because it's about the family kind of thing.
I'm excited to start my own traditions with my family.
Yeah. I have a question
Family tradition.
after this one.
Yeah, it's just understood Christmas Day. My mom's a twin, and he lives in the next street, so we go by my uncle. It's just understood. Like,
He would like that.
he loves it. We go by him for 7 a.m. No one actually reaches 7 a.m. It's understood. We're reaching for 8:45, 9. We have the same breakfast every single Christmas. It happens. Bread and ham, pastel, some turkey, and a little bit of Spanish rice. Right? It's understood every Christmas morning. That's what you're doing. It's understood. He's going to say, all right, the bread ready. Let me know when you're outside. He's going to say that at 7 a.m.
And
He's going to
nobody's
say
there.
Christmas Eve, my house, 7 a.m. tomorrow. And it's understood. My mom and we live in the next street. And we will not leave home until maybe 8:25. And it'd be like, well, so-and-so now reaching, so-and-so now reaching. And we will literally, their 4 other siblings, will all arrive at the same time. Like, it's almost like clockwork.
I love that.
But it's great. It's great. It's great.
I actually have a. Well, yeah.
You have a question?
Yeah. 2 actually. But one is what is the cringiest thing? Sorry, yeah. They come on, you're in the middle of my thing, man. Right? What is the cringiest thing you've ever put up on social media?
I just felt
Every
the dramatic
Facebook
effect.
status ever.
Really, Rooms? I could never see you put
Girl,
up anything out
symbols
of
were a
the
thing, right?
Oh.
And we used to make all these weird Facebook statuses. Not to mention, all Facebook statuses were problematic. Like, we were not PC at all. We said things that if I look back now, I'm like, I can't
You know what
believe.
Facebook reminding you nothing
I
about.
don't want to know. I don't want to know what I said at 16, 15, 14. I don't want to know.
What about you, Sam?
That's cringiest. But I don't think it's really cringy, but you know that dog, the skinny dog, with that real ugly, like the teeth just all over the place, and it has no fur. And it just has like a faux hawk fur. I think that would be the cringiest thing I've ever put on this.
I'm saying that under the umbrella of cringy though, but
Yeah, I
Good for you. What about you?
I don't know. I've been thinking. I was like, I don't know. I don't know if I've ever put up anything cringy. I don't know.
Probably cringe
Give
for
us
other
some time.
people. They didn't
Give us
tell
some
me
time
it
and
was
see
cringe, you know?
I've done some
Other people might cringe.
It could be that
Other
too.
people might
It
cringe.
could be that too.
But that's their problem.
Exactly.
I love
don't
it.
find it cringe. Right?
I think for me, I was probably going through like a heartbreak or something, and I was just throwing status.
Wow, the Facebook status.
Every girl ever.
Literally, this is the thing. Like I was always like mindful, so I'm trying to talk in code because I want to sound sophisticated.
Every girl ever.
And she said, I'm throwing shots.
And I realized, like, it's not hitting.
And you have to find a better one to post, And then
so
you know
I just resort to WhatsApp. I just resort to WhatsApp and only post the status where the one person I'm talking to could see it.
Scream!
Re-strategize.
I can relate, but I would share this one thing, right? It wasn't really cringy to me. I still find it as real kicks, but my sister brought it to my attention, and she was for her it was just hilarious, and like she's like, "Why you put that up, right?" Yeah. So some years ago, remember we in the country, we in Filipino, so the chicken come inside of the house, and.
Why am I laughing?
Because you know where that's going already. Yeah. So he's like real planting himself. So I was like, yo, chick, like you need to bounce. Right? And then I see my mom come with the broom and something in me saying, this is about to be like, this is action right here. So I whip up my phone and I'm taping. And if you see real chaos inside the kitchen, all the thing gone down, all the pots, everything like that for this one chicken.
Pressure.
If you know how long that take. But I'm laughing not really at the chicken and my mom and her dress code holding that room and she's doing her stuff and I find it was hilarious, so I put it on my YouTube channel. No. Right, so my sister the other day was like, I went across, I was just looking. I don't really care. This is my family, you know, whatever.
Entertainment.
Right? So for me, so she's like, because she wants to research my past songs and stuff when I was professional. So she's going through and she sees this thing. She's like, Tanya, why did you put it up there? This is so crazy, like, you know? And she went so far, obsessively so chance, to go and take my email and all that to go and take it on herself. Because she know I won't do it.
Right for that. She's so right for that.
She has my back so much. And to me, it's
all juicy sip and spillers. We have stories that we can tell you for ages, and that is why you should come and see season 4.
Exactly.
2020 Yes. But guys, with that, we wrap our sip and spill. Cheers!
Thank you, Troy, for being with all this feminine energy.
Guys, the Sip and Spill segment was brought to you by Absolute Vodka Watermelon. But don't go nowhere, we have plenty of shows still coming up.
Please.
Tag team. Cutie commercials.
You know it. You know what time it is.
New Absolute Watermelon, always in season. 100% natural watermelon flavor, 0% added sugar. Not for persons under the age of 18. Enjoy responsibly.
Since they were on sale, Laura bought these umbrella shoes without thinking. Literally, without thinking. Hungry for deals? You'd better come and satisfy it at KFC before doing something crazy. 7 pieces of delicious chicken with a bucket of fries. The KFC Wow Bucket for $119.95.
KFC nuggets, back on the menu with a twist. New spicy nuggets, the dark and the dog. KFC nuggets are the best around. A spicy nuggets the best, with enough dips. No one we contest. The swears 100% chicken breast, and everybody else we hold second best. Back on the menu with a twist. Never had them like this. Spicy nuggets are the tastiest.
KFC chicken nuggets are back on the menu. Now you can choose between the new hot and spicy flavor or original, or mix them up starting at $24.95 only at KFC.
Frisky's World! Yes, let's explore it! Wow, it's made with real salmon! Look what I found. Party mixed cat snacks. There's the delicious taste of the tuna we love! Definitely coming back tomorrow.
Friskies, always more to explore.
Just forget your problems and dance away the whole night. Tonight we're gonna just enjoy life. Don't need introductions for us to have a good time. Just let the feeling take you up high. 'Cause I know a place where we can both go. Let me show you how to let your stress go. Ease your mind and baby don't you act shy. 'Cause we've got every reason why we should keep celebrating life. When we sing, say
So come let me wine with you and have a good time with you. Let's show the world how we do tonight. Let's celebrate life.
And welcome back to the season finale of season 3 of Island Girl Talk. Can you guys believe
No.
Season finale?
Wow. No.
And we are now about to enter Let's Talk Trends. It's your girl Nisi.
My name is Talia Alexander.
I'm Samara Lalo.
I'm Ruby Paris.
And we're here with our guys' perspective.
Troy.
But before we dive in,
Let's talk trends.
That's right. Well, we have a lot of things trending, right? We had to talk the things.
That's
We had to talk the things. Like for instance, night riders claim a spot in the women's CPL finals for all our cricket lovers. Talk the things. Talk the things. You listen. So. I don't want to butcher the name, but Miss Rodriguez lifted Trinidad and Tobago's Night Riders into the 2024 Macy's Women's Caribbean Premier League
That's amazing.
final after a nerve-jangling 4-wicket victory over Barbados Royals at the Brian Lara Cricket Stadium in Tarouba, Trinidad and Tobago, chasing 131 for a place in Thursday's final. The Night Riders were in big trouble with a 43-over-3 before Rodriguez stepped in with an unbeatable 59 points over 50 balls.
Wow.
You all
Making
understand
cricket
it?
song exciting. though.
Listen. So, we in the finals. Ladies.
Hello.
Well done, ladies.
Congratulations, guys.
We in the finals. Things stinging. Moving on to what's trending again. Let's talk some art stuff now.
Come tell
How
me
are
the
you
thing.
feeling about the arts land?
Love it. We love it.
Angostura has offered a one-off performing arts scholarship. And I know we have some artists
some
on the scene who could appreciate this. Who could definitely appreciate it.
I wish I was still
Angostura
in the
launched their
age
first foundation scholarship on August the 22nd, right? They said that there are many gifted persons in the country who, because of circumstances, harbor within them world-class talents. I'm sure you guys could agree.
Yeah, 100%.
Right? So the chairman, Mr. Terence Barat, says that they're in an effort to not just like support but put the money where their mouth is.
Very good.
We loving it. So Angostura through their foundation is offering one Trinidad and Tobago citizens between the ages of 16 to 20. I don't like this number.
Yeah, me neither.
It usually is. But it's a start.
Yes.
Who is financially eligible and meets the criteria of the scholarship and opportunity to study performing arts at one of the 15 top North American universities.
Incredible.
I love that. And I do hope that it continues. It doesn't just be like a one-off thing, because I believe that investment in the arts, same how they invest in sports and all these other areas, investing in the arts is definitely needed.
It's welcome there.
Definitely needed. Oh,
It's an industry that's significantly slept on. It's
Yeah.
literally $1 billion industry that we just don't tap into. So, hell yeah, I'm here
We
for
have
it.
plenty of talent as well.
We do, and
That's
Trini's
tremendous.
always want to say we're so talented, but where we
Yeah.
doing,
Doing
what
it
we doing with
everything.
it?
Oh, your
Why we
money,
always have to make it outside
where all your
before
mouth
we can
is.
be appreciated?
And with Independence Day on the horizon, this Saturday we celebrate our nation's independence. The ministry advises that Independence Day dress rehearsal will be taking place at QPS, known as the Queen's Park Savannah. The Ministry of National Security is advising the public of the upcoming dress rehearsals for this year's Independence Day parade at the Queen's Park Savannah. The rehearsals will take place tomorrow, Thursday, between the hours of 6:15 and 10:30 a.m. You know, normally Saturday there's a big thing when they come out and they watch the parade, but for some of us who might not be able to be there, you could go take in the little rehearsals, or you could attend the rehearsals and still go on the big day.
Correct.
You know?
When it's nice, do it twice.
And they also said that as a result, the public is further advised that there will be no noise emanating from the musical bands due to the use of pyrotechnics for the gun salutes on the actual rehearsals. But you know, on the day you'll get it.
Hello.
You'll get it.
I love my salutes. That's the
full.
whole hype for me of independence. That's the little doggies. They're so cute.
So that's it, you guys, for Let's Talk Trends. But before we go, we need to remind you all, although the season is coming to a close, that doesn't mean that you all could stop submitting all your music.
Yeah. Thank you.
Right?
O.U.R.
So if you're an artist and you have music, you can definitely submit to O.U.R. Radio by sending an email to music@OURradio.com. And we haven't gotten a call since the show started. So just in case you need a little reminder of our phone number, you can call in at 466-4-OUR, which is 468-4687.
Yes, man.
And with that, this is the end of Let's Talk Trends. We're about to go to commercial, but wait, we still have a lot more show coming for you guys.
Yes, please.
So stay tuned, stay locked on, and we'll be back after this.
Sit down right there.
They ain't going away. We are trying here with us soon.
Hi. The commercials, please. Thank you.
Since they were on sale, Laura bought these umbrella shoes without thinking. Literally, without thinking. Hungry for deals? You'd better come and satisfy it at KFC before doing something crazy. 7 pieces of delicious chicken with a bucket of fries. The KFC Wow Bucket for $119.95.
Let's explore it. Wow, it's made with real salmon. Look what I found. Party mixed cat snacks. There's the delicious taste of the tuna we love. Definitely coming back tomorrow.
Friskies, always more to explore.
Cause human beings, we take what they want. Not for them a friend killer. Not for them a friend killer. Some just cut them off, cut them off. Block them out, block them out. Yeah, ma, lock them off, cut them off, cut them off. Trey, I thank you, Jaja, for opening my eyes to see some humans I had around me. Not for them, they only had bad intentions. Why? But what I'm doing? Not for them, when they sing at the fade. They're hypocrites, but not pretend. Lock them off like them deep in a jail. Not for them, a friend killer. Not for them, a friend killer. Some just cut them off, cut them off. Block them out, block them out. Yeah, ma, lock them off.
Welcome back to Island Girl Talk Season 3, which is also the season finale. Oh my gosh, we're missing our girl Crystal today. As you see, she's not here with us. However, we're still here.
That's right.
And it is Guy's Perspective today. So, we have Troy Hadid with us.
Right.
I'm Samara Lalu.
I'm Ruby Paris.
And I'm Talia Alexander.
If you're now joining us, you missed such a jam-packed show. But we still have more. We're not done yet, right?
Yes.
So to the top, of course, we check in every week. And then we had our spotlight guest, right? And then we had our topic of the day, right?
Juicy stuff.
Yes, and our topic of the day was how male shame affects men's lives.
Yes.
Right?
And then we had our sip
and spill.
And then we went into our
Let's Talk Trends.
And now,
yes. So, we have the segments for you guys. And now it's time for
The Wellness
Wavelength. That's the best way we have so far. I love it.
Wow.
Nice.
Right.
What are we talking about today, guys? We are talking about how do you identify a stroke in women?
Yes.
Right?
Different from men?
not a stroke.
A little bit different. Yeah, so how do you know if I'm having a stroke as a woman? Here's some common stroke symptoms. Numbness or weakness in the face or leg, which is, I think, pretty standard.
Right.
Trouble speaking or understanding speech. vision problems, trouble walking or lack of coordination or balance, severe headache without a known cause. So I think those things tend to be pretty common across the board, right? But some additional symptoms that might be seen in women, the disorientation and confusion or memory problems, fatigue, nausea, and vomiting. So you might be just vomiting and thinking, well, okay, it's normal, not knowing, well, it actually could be signs of a stroke.
Right.
Wow.
Correct.
Right? So higher stroke risk in women might be due to their pregnancy, right? Which apparently 30 per 100,000 pregnant women are affected by this. This could happen too. Preeclampsia, right, which is high blood pressure that develops during pregnancy. So if that's not monitored, that could lead to, you know.
That's why it's important to take your natal tablets.
Exactly.
Eat
right?
veggies.
Do your checkups.
Eat your veggies.
Birth control pills. Right? They have become much safer over time, but women who are already at risk of stroke should actually take precautions because... Yeah.
100%. See, some good tips here, man.
Another, some people may be on hormone therapy for whatever reasons. So when used initially after the menopause period, hormone therapy may provide some cardiovascular issues.
Yeah.
So, right? Migraines with O.U.R, which is associated with ischemic. Is that ischemic stroke?
Close enough.
Right?
ISCHEMIC.
Did I say that correct?
Whether it's ischemic or
ischemic. Sorry. Ischemic is also a pronunciation that could be a thing, right? Stroke in younger women, particularly if you smoke. So you have to be careful with that. And atrial fibrillation. This increases stroke risk among women over the age of 75 by like 20%.
This is very good information.
Yes.
So guys, make sure and get your regular checkups.
Yes, you have
and don't take these things lightly. If you actually, don't be overly paranoid.
No.
But just know that if you are experiencing things like this and you're not quite sure 100% okay what it is, at least bear in mind that it could also be this.
And it doesn't have to be any later ages as well.
Exactly.
It's happening to young women right now.
Exactly. Because a lot of people are on birth control and different things.
Yes.
So definitely.
So
all right.
That's the day.
And that's it for our Wellness Wavelength. I tell you, that's the best wave we've had so far.
It was. Guys, we're going to go to a short commercial break. And we'll be right back.
Yes, man. We'll be back with season 4.
Beauty commercials.
Don't troll people.
So new, but so radical.
New! The KFC Double Stacker Sandwich. 2 crispy chicken fillets sandwiched with barbecue sauce and cheddar cheese.
So new, so radical.
Order your Double Stacker Sandwich now via the app or KFC.com. It's finger licking good.
KFC nuggets, back on the menu with a twist. New spicy nuggets, the dark and the dog. KFC nuggets are the best around. A spicy nuggets the best, with enough dips. No one we contest. The swears 100% chicken breast, and everybody else we hold second best. Back on the menu with a twist. Never had them like this. Spicy nuggets are the tastiest.
KFC chicken nuggets are back on the menu. Now you can choose between the new hot and spicy flavor or original, or mix them up starting at $24.95 only at KFC.
Living in a corner house like I too fast. Dipping in the holy water in carnage. Walking through a rima with a blade in my hand. I'm black and white in my flask. Oh yeah. Black dirt on my white shoes like a convent girl. People through my window cause I like bacchanal. Look left to right in Scarborough, see the whole island, but beach is part of my plan. Victory, no, punching is a part of the sea.
And welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Island Girl Talk Season 3, the finale. Guys, wow. Honestly, because it's the last segment, like, I just want to say that I love you guys. And this is a big deal. I'm so privileged to do this segment with you guys. And to Crystal, we love you. Like, thank you for having us here for this season. Like, to be honest. Lizzie, enough of that, right? Save the drama. First tomorrow in an acting class, okay? But again, my name is Talia Alexander. Nisi, come on, without that. Nisi. Mara Lalo.
Ruby Paris.
And we have our guest and guys' perspective, Troy Eileen. And it was such a privilege to have you here, man. But I mean, just for a quick recap, you did it already, but you know, we had the spotlight was before the topic of the day, right? We had the spotlight with Troy. Then we had the topic of the day, ways male shame can affect a man's life. And guys, we want to have you back. Like, honestly, you'd rather do this alone, and there are certain symptoms that we ourselves could relate to as well. We also had the sip and spill segment. We had Let's Talk Trends. Ruby, I didn't forget you, and I didn't forget you, Nisi.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Wavelength. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I mean, is the last of the last. So we want to bring before you, in sincerity, the Empowerment Minute. Woosa. Yes, man, I feel it. Feels different. I love it. And they're giving us the feature.
Hold it, Tals. Hold it.
Hold it.
Right. All right.
Release. Troy,
Okay, one more time.
Troy. And we have... Okay, so yeah, let's say right? Okay, one more time. And we have before you the Empowerment Minute. Woosa. I love it. Okay, so this one is a little bit, I mean, I hope that people catch on to this one. This is a bit different and tricky.
Okay,
right?
let's hear it.
So the quote is, a good name is to be chosen rather than great riches, loving favor rather than silver or gold. I want to say it one more time. A good name is to be chosen rather than great riches, loving favor rather than silver or gold. This is a weird one, but it came to me. And I think it has a lot to do with the topic of discussion about men. A name is actually not a light matter.
No.
At least even biblically, when you look at, if you read the word of God and stuff, you would see that the name, when you do the Hebrew, research on the name, it actually is potent to the actual story of the character. So God literally designed that the names, especially with the appearance and everything, is actually for a cause and reason. Even our names, because it's words and the words are powerful, is very important. And I think sometimes, whether it's man or woman, we are lost in the identity of like you said earlier today, material stuff, or what people's perception is, or whatever it is that actually is not it doesn't bring fulfillment or purpose, and it has nothing to do with us. And that's why no matter the accolades, you just feel empty. So your name, though, your identity, the word, is very, very important to know who you are, and even God could give you a new name, but you need to know you. And that is when a person passes on their last name, even to their kids, is a legacy you're leaving behind. It's not a light matter. You understand? Even in salvation, the name of the Lord, you are saved, calling Jesus' name, is a powerful thing. Words are powerful. So I want to just share with men that your name, when somebody reflects on your name, what would they think of you? What would you think of you? What do you want to leave back? And it's not a shame thing or a guilt thing. It's more of a reflection. So I want to leave that with whether it's men or women out there. A good name is better than riches and wealth and all of that. Your children and what they're looking up to. That is important. So don't take words lightly. Don't take your name lightly. Go home and research your name too. You might be surprised some of your characteristics coming from that. Words are powerful. So I just want to leave that with you. Identity.
I love that.
Identity. So I give God the glory for that one. And that was the Empowerment Minute.
Usa. Hold your peace. This is just for Crystal. Hold your peace. She does. She's like, hold your peace.
So, again, don't let nobody rob you of your joy. Hold your peace, guys, and blessings.
Yes.
Wow. Guys, what a show we had today.
It's
really giving finale.
We had vibes.
But I really want to just...
We had everything.
We really did. And I really want to reflect on what our show had today. If you are now joining in, shame on you. However, you could skip across the tempo and check out season 1 of Island Girl Talk, where we have the lovely Nisi holding down the original anchor. Yes. And guys, just remember you can catch Island Girl Talk in 2025.
With
season 4.
Wow. Before we go, I want to ask a quick question. That's in it's all basically like when they play in homage.
Yeah.
That thingy.
And
what was your favorite episode this season?
Quick. This one.
Yeah.
This one definitely left me with the most spiritual jewels. Like when it comes to personal growth, self-reflection, and understanding where are you setting your sail going forward. This one caused the most introspection in a spiritual way.
Love that.
In terms of that aspect. In terms of firecracker. You see Lori? Lori's episode was just like energy. Really enjoyed that for the way that she spoke about her own life and the inspiration that she left with us, especially as artists, of just kind of feeling invincible. Everybody brought something so different. Like Melly Rose was here. We had P-Wise. We had Tevin Gill. We had CEO of SAS.
MX Prime.
We had Matix.
Yes, we had Matix.
Was a good interview too.
Every single episode was left us with jewels. And we left, again, Troy said it perfectly earlier, the way we leave these shows and the way we left leaving this episode is completely different to who we came in at the beginning. And I think I could say for all of us that in every show that we've done, even from when Nisi was here in the beginning and the first season,
even Nicole as well.
Changed our perspective in some way. And again, I just want to highlight Crystal and say thank you so much for creating a platform.
We love you
where these conversations can exist and these connections can happen.
Topics.
And the topics.
The hard-hitting topics.
We have to do it just one more time.
One more time. And I also want to say, thank you to you all. Well, I'll start with Tals because we have a little time. We have a little time. Tals, I am so proud. I'm going to make me cry. I am so proud of you. The person I met when we had our first meeting to bring us into Island Girl Talk to where you are now.
I know.
You are just such a calming light. And to see you come out of your shell and to see you just blossom into who you are now, I'm like, what an honor and what a privilege I got to have you in my life's journey. And I'm eternally grateful for that.
Love that.
Love you. Nisi, you are like the table comedian. Like it's not even forced. Your ability to bring joy, your ability to laugh, your ability to just find light moments and even the heaviest topics. It's so inspiring.
Thank you.
Because it's very easy to get carried away with the weight of what we're discussing. And you always bring a refreshing element to it and always bring it with such an element of joy. And I am inspired by you.
I'm not gonna cry.
Troy, I hope our paths continue to cross because you're someone that I feel like when you came into the room, my energy instantly took to you in a way that was like, he understands. And he's going to be able to show you different things and converse with you on different things that I can't hold in all the spaces that I'm normally traversing through. And I thank you for that, for creating a space where all of us, I mean, it's always intimidating when you're accustomed to an all-female aura. And you have a man come in to share his perspective, and you never know what you're going to get. So thank you for creating a space and sharing in a space with us to be vulnerable, where we could equally share our vulnerability with you. And I'm so grateful that you have become a beacon to a lot of people who are searching for some sort of stability in the chaos that of getting lost in materialism. Right. So thank you for that.
Thank you. Love.
Yeah. And Sam. Really? You know, Sam and I, we'd crossed paths before. Multiple times in our field and in our career. But working with Sam on this, I've had a whole other respect for you, a whole other love for you, a whole other appreciation for you. Because Sam at the beginning, similar to Tals, is not Sam now. No. And I'm so proud because, I mean, oftentimes in shows we share what we want to change about each other or work on each other or take away from each other. And a lot of times came up with that self-doubt. And to see you just charge ahead and just be like, I'm me. Take it or leave it. You can take it or leave it, but also I love who I am. And seeing you continuously celebrate who you are in every episode
and
has
own
just
it.
been completely own it.
Only heaven out of it.
A joy. It is such a privilege, and I don't take it lightly that my path was intercepted with meeting you all, and I cherish that deeply. And Island Girl Talk 2025.
You're not getting away. So I may have been here in and out, and I love all you ladies, but I just want to return the same essence.
Yes, please.
I love your voice.
Your voice, the audience, everybody loves the rasp.
And I just love that, like, I don't think I've ever experienced you sad. And even if you are, like, it has such a light in that. Like, it doesn't take over the room.
No. Yes, true.
You have such a presence that is so light and refreshing. And I just love the spark. The fieriness. But it's not so loud and dominating. It's like, this is who I am, but you hold space for everybody else to be themselves.
You are actually Ruby, you are one of the best. You are one of the best listeners. For me, I take a lot from that. That is a big deal. You're a great listener. I believe that you are very intelligent beyond even what you realize that you are. But on top of the intelligence, because I can make somebody very proud. But your humility, your love for people comes through you. And honestly, like even my Uncle Kevin will say it. The people look forward to seeing you on the show. You are joy. You're fresh. You're fresh.
Before we go, I just also wanna. Chris is not here right now, but we all will not be sitting here
if it was not for
Chris did not take that idea that God gave her years ago and decided, hey, I'm going to hold this by the helm and run with it. And through trials and tribulations, continue to persevere and continue to show up. And where Island Girl Talk is now, and I could say this from being there from the inception, to see that vision come to life. Some of these things that we are sitting in right now was conversations years ago. So to even see it continuing to grow and to know that it has so much further to grow, and to know that because somebody said yes, because Chris decided to say yes, you know, and take everything that comes with that load, it's amazing because us crossing paths is because of opportunities like this. We actually just want to say 100%. Thank you.
We are proud of you, Chris.
So proud.
We are proud of you.
Can I just say one quick thing to Chris before, because I know we have to wrap by past. Like she
don't worry, we
definitely give us
we see her.
She may not be physically here, but she's here. She's like, guys, we need to wrap it up. Okay, right? But just very quickly, I just want to say thank you to Crystal.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
I know this is God's show and he put it in you, but thank you for taking up the mantle. And I think you are the perfect person that he gave it to, because your energy, your fervor, the way you just a no BS kind of person that when you want something, you're like a freaking pit bull woman. And, you know, in this way that it's very much grounded, like 2 feet stand straight, shoulders back, arms out, full holding the load, the weight, and carrying it, and you'll still try a way to just put people on your back to go with you.
Wow.
And I think that's very powerful. You as a woman, very, very powerful, just as a person.
100%.
And you still hold so much space and love in such a deep way that people may not see it readily. They may not know it readily.
You may misunderstand it.
Yeah, they might be misunderstanding because of your very particular way of being that, you know, people may mistake that for being a B word or for being unwavering
beautiful.
or
Beautiful indeed.
We take it natural.
Yes, beautiful indeed.
And in that, it's that you know where you're going and you're at the helm and the tunnel vision could come in and it is so beautiful. It is absolutely apt and it is meant to be that.
love you.
And we love you so much.
And
Thank
also
you.
our tech team.
Yes,
Our tech team. I'm gonna realm my solo. But before we go and turn up, I just want to jump into the chat quickly.
Yes, please.
Make sure we get our last comment for the season.
We had 2 minutes.
I have 1 minute.
1 minute because we have to do our sign off too.
Fire Wolfman said it was a very enjoyable and informative show as always. See you for season 4.
Thank you, guys.
My mommy said, good job, ladies. Miss UK. Looking forward to season 4. Happy Independence. She said, oh, bring out the sheets. Love you, ladies. Continue to inspire with your honesty and frankness on all topics.
Thank you.
And guys, don't forget, not sorry, Sam, I know you're hyped, but don't forget, you can see us live at the Sundresses. At SAS. This Saturday.
Sandals, shades and
Sundress. It's Sundresses, Sandals and Shades, but close enough. At Queen's Hall Garden, Independence Day. Come out in your numbers. It's a brilliant, brilliant, brilliant event. And you can join in the Island Girl Talk live at SAS. And with that, we wrap
season
3 Island Girl Talk, where women are free to simply be unapologetically.
Be your main character, guys.
Stay awesome.
Stay pretty.
And hold your peace. Much love from Troy.
Love. We love you guys.
Jump over to tempo now.
Yeah, we did.
And this is God Show.
Yes,
God Show.
Hey, thank you.
Island Girls.
See you in season 4, guys.
See you in season 4, 2025. Bye.
And the whole way through, I give my thanks and praise. And that's why blessings and blessings are falling on me. 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 From a rise I'm on and give thanks for my 2 foot and my 2 hands, for the birds that sing in the trees, for the food we reap from the land, and eyes behold the beauty. I'm a beautiful twin island, big O good and love Trinidad, Jamaica, Grenada, the whole Caribbean. Say me I keep me heart clean even when the world gets so cold and mean. Through the rise and the falls, I'm a faith stand tall and strong, Nalene. Me never ever lose hope, even when me had to cope, keep a smile on me. And me have to live happy and free, big up to the Almighty. Blessings and blessings are falling on me. 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 From a rise I'm on and give thanks for my 2 foot and my 2 hands, for the birds that sing in the trees, for the food we reap from the land, and eyes behold the beauty. I'm a beautiful twin island, big O good and love Trinidad, Jamaica, Grenada, the whole Caribbean.